Shit, we live on a farm. We got to get shit done. We ain't got time to walk around being focused. Does it look like stable thoughts go through my mind? Do I look like a rational thinker to you? This guy, I guarantee you, he ain't no rational thinker. Shit, we walk in there on Dr. Phil, he shit is. Damn, son.
Zach Atticus, who I've never heard of.
Good name.
Apparently a pedophile.
Oh, okay.
According to Fuck a Cage Match.
Okay, I believe him. I believe the inmates. They know who's a pedophile.
Necro, and a very funny third person, Cloudy.
Oh, cool.
Cheech and Cloudy.
Of Cheech and Cloudy fame. All right. That's probably good enough. You want to start the show?
Yeah, let's start the show.
All right, we'll start with an accusation of pedophilia. My name is Bucky. This is Wrestling is Gross. I did it backwards.
My name is Siobhan.
This is Wrestling is Gross. I usually say the name of the show before I say, and I'm still putting ice in my glass here. This is. You want to start over? No, okay. We'll just keep going.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the show. I'm usually not bending over with my head in the freezer when we start, but I didn't expect you to drop. What's his name? The pedophile?
Oh, Zach Atticus.
Zach Atticus.
Zach spelled like Zach Wild with 2 Ks and no C.
We should have known then.
Real name, Peter Zachary Stelmach IV.
All right, look that up, folks. We'll verify and we'll get the mugshot up. Welcome everyone to the show. Thanks for listening. Today we're revisiting Jay Briscoe, who died in January of 2023. We did a tribute show almost a year to the day. A year ago to the day. When was that show? I'm going to look it up.
I know it was published on May 17th.
Oh, okay. So that's close enough. It was probably recorded on May 10th. Then we'll just say it was exactly a year to the day that we recorded our Jay Briscoe show, and we had promised to do a follow-up part 2 of tag matches with him and his brother. And then we never did. And then we didn't do a podcast for 4 months? Until Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk died, like 2 days in a row? Is that right?
That's fucking weird, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to provide, like, reasons for, like, gaps. Sometimes it just happens, so who gives a shit? You know.
Summer's tricky for me.
Yeah. You got kids. Like Keith Slater.
Yeah. I'm like him. I draw about the same amount of people to a wrestling show. We're doing the Briscoe brothers. It's a long time coming. We're reaching for the Skyboy.
Yeah.
And the time has passed, and Mark Briscoe has done pretty well. It's been an interesting journey, watching him in Ring of Honor as like a fourth fiddle to a feud that's ongoing and on, like the Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Sanjay Dutt faction that's just going and going and going forever. And I guess he has broken out of it somewhat now, right? He won the Ring of Honor title at WrestleMania weekend. Yeah. It really felt like, because he faced Joe for the TV title last year, right? Yeah. Or was that for the ROH World title? No, that was for the TV title. It was Gresham and Claudio at the maybe I don't. Maybe it was Gresham and Bandito. I think actually, yeah. It's going really good for Gresham. Wow. Okay, so it's been a couple months since that match. Have you seen that? Have you seen Mark versus Eddie Kingston? I haven't seen it yet. It's really good. You'll love that. Okay. But Mark's trajectory has been interesting, to say the least. And I'm glad that they figured it out. Tony's obviously an awful fucking booker. If you didn't know then, you definitely know now. Like, good lord. To quote Ric Flair, good lord. But we're going to be doing 4 Briscoes matches here today. and I am excited. I realized that I never did watch the FTR Double Dog Collar match until today. I think I had just seen a couple clips.
For the record, it was fucking Claudio Eddie, which is a match I have.
Oh, right, of course.
I'm thinking of Supercard of Honor, I guess.
2022, yeah.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, well, Gresham has no place in Tony's ROH. That's one decision that Tony made correctly. Joking, I do like Jonathan Gresham.
I like Jonathan Gresham.
Think he's pathetic.
Jonathan Gresham trying to big dog using his PWI rating is one of the craziest and funniest things we've heard in a long time.
Weird guy. He's gotten to.
Did you hear about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Having a worm eat part of his brain?
Yeah, I heard about it, and I said, that makes sense,
That's exactly on the ball. That's so Kennedy. That's such a Kennedy thing.
If it could happen to him, it could happen to any of us.
Yeah.
I think having literal brain worms is it unprecedented? Has anybody ever said that they had a worm in the brain? And not, speaking metaphorically?
Certainly for recent times, I can't.
Oh, sure. Back in the day, that was what they, if somebody just had, a low IQ, they thought it was because there was a worm in there.
As for brain tapeworms, technically known as neurocyst
you're Googling it. Good.
They're responsible for an estimated 1,000 hospitalizations a year, but that's not really the same thing.
It's a different type of worm. I like Scotty Too Hottie when he's doing it.
I like Scotty Too Hottie when he does the worm.
It's a good guy. R.I.P. Brian Christopher. I was just thinking about him earlier today. What a tragic end.
Yeah.
So we got 4 matches, 4 Briscoes matches, and we're doing these, we're doing these chronologically?
Yes.
Oh, my wife just sent me a picture of Jack eating a snow cone.
Aw,
It's picnic day up there.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, I'm just typing wow. Beautiful. Okay. And then I'm putting my phone away.
Yeah.
So, from CZW, What About Lobo? No, is that what it's called? What About Lobo?
It's about What About Lobo. 2001, I think, has some of the funniest CZW show names. 2005 is always my gold standard because of how weird and pretentious it is.
Yeah.
And just in terms of just weird things that sound like Zandig talking.
Yeah.
2001 is unmatched.
It's the Briscoe brothers, Mark and Jay, versus Johnny Kashmere and Justice Payne. It's July 28th, 2001. I had it written 2007, which is absurd. Imagine this in 2007. We got the Briscoes as tag team champions here, the CZW tag team champions. Justice Payne comes out. I Don't Know Anything by Mad Season.
No.
Of course, the famous CZW fans joke that I always have to bring up is anytime anyone would ask, what did Tony Mamaluke come out to on the recent show? People would just reply, I Don't Know Anything by Mad Season. And it was not a good joke, but it was a classic, classic CZW fans bit, along with any time someone would spell Homicide's name HOMOCIDE. It was a meme picture before we knew how to use the impact bold font. So it was like a top text, bottom text, and it said, "Y'all keep calling me homicide, I'ma be pissed." So if anybody out there remembers that,
yeah.
Speaking of, I spotted Chad Shaft almost immediately in the front row, and some other guys booing Kashmere, and. What Eric says, wait a minute, he's not supposed to be here. Gotta get into my Eric voice.
Yeah. Wait a minute, he's not supposed to be here. I'm better at the house.
Well, that's the melding of the two. He says we saw a limo pull up earlier, and House says, he can do whatever he wants, Eric. And Eric says, I smell a swerve. So we're in it immediately. Yeah. It almost felt like I greatest hits. I guess at this point, when you watch 01 CZW, it's just straight into the brain, right in the face, listening to the Who sell out in mono, it just right in your fucking middle of your face. It's exactly what I want, and I felt it in my whole body. The people who get in Kashmere's face, one of the great heels of all time, Johnny Kashmere.
Yeah, this is Kashmere. I mean, we have him in the black jeans with the baseball bat. This is sort of like this is like the classic Kashmere.
Yeah, we're in it now. He's no longer Kashmerino, although I do think they reference that.
They did reference it. He's not wearing his long-sleeved white T-shirt that we saw him the last time we saw him teaming with Justice Payne. Have we talked about Justice Payne since we found out that he killed himself by jumping off a bridge after he stole a car or something?
I don't think I knew. I think I just found that out just now when you said it.
Yeah, that's what happened. I was Gage said it on the Dark Side of the Ring episode, apparently, which I still haven't actually seen, but this is when it turned out people were saying that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways you can do it.
No, that's an evocative way to do it. That's a showman's way, for lack of a better way to put it, and you got to give Justice Payne credit for being a showman.
Absolutely, yeah, no doubt. Wow, I'm not going to look that up right now, but I am going to immediately after we're done because now I need to know. Yeah, this is the prime shit. Wax is there. It's the Champs Sports Arena. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the Champs Sports Arena in Sewell, New Jersey.
Sewell, which is you'd think it's 2 syllables, but it's 1. It's Sewell.
Sewell.
It rhymes with tool, the band, or like a wrench. The Champs Sports Arena is what do they play soccer here? Like, what is this place? It's like there's like boards like hockey rails, like sort of, but then instead of like plexiglass, like you get a Nem Flyer skate zone, they've got fucking chain link that goes up about 10 feet, which is really cool. And factors into the match, obviously, and would factor into a lot of the matches. And probably until they finally broke enough of it that they got kicked out of there.
Yeah, and it was like, fuck it, we're going to fucking South Philly.
I guess
you fucking said, do this to me, Champ Soccer Arena.
Champ Soccer Arena. They definitely jumped at that. I mean, you have to assume that they were just waiting on the time that they could afford it or whatever after ECW closes down. It's crazy that their first show in the ECW arena is the same year as the last ECW show in the ECW arena, right?
I think the last ECW show in the ECW arena is actually in 2000.
Is it in December, probably? Well,
yeah.
Close enough. But still, but the year that ECW closed down, it's just crazy to me. It's so strange how those things feel years apart, but they're not. They're not even hardly a year apart.
No, and I mean, hey, you take your chances.
They did a good job, clearly. Justice Payne gets on the mic and says, "Shut the fuck up," and House repeats, "Shut up." I can't really make out much of what Justice Payne says, but Eric says that he's got no respect for him, and House says, "Respect your leader, Eric," and Eric says, "My leader's in Japan." So I guess like half the roster is still in Japan, right?
Yeah. Like
Trent's there and Zandig, and I guess, I don't know, is Lobo, is that why they're asking what about Lobo? No, he didn't go to Japan.
I can't imagine that they flew Lobo in, but I don't believe wife beaters here.
They made him swim. Yeah.
Boy, are his arms tied.
Yeah, right.
Okay, they may have brought Lobo in 2000, but that's it.
That is it's so crazy, so mind-blowing that anybody over there was like CCW barely had an audience even in fucking New Jersey at that point.
So the story is that Zandig told Kojika and company that he had like a really great DVD distribution deal that he could get them.
Okay.
And they just believed.
Sure. I mean, they probably had gotten screwed by Tokyo Pop or whatever. Like, they probably had tried to go through the same pipeline that Onita and, like, Wing and whatnot did and probably got screwed on their own. So, I could see... I mean, Zandig seems like say what you will about him. He seems like a good businessman. Seems like he could get in the room and talk you into doing just about anything. He certainly talked a lot of people into jumping off of shit.
Zandig has hustle. There's no denying that.
Yeah. God, any of the 2001 Zandig in Japan stuff it's really so stunning because he really does feel He looks like Bruiser Brody. He's like a larger than life. The crowd responds to him like they would like a late 70s monster gaijin.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's so awesome. I want to see. Can you help me find? You know the match where they set the ring on fire and it's Matsunaga and maybe Kasai and it's Gage and Zandig. And
is this the match outdoors?
Yeah, the outdoors match. I can only find like a 9-minute version of it, but I know I've seen the full thing.
I know that this exists.
Is anybody out there?
Is it possible?
Oh, you're in. Yeah, see, this is why you shouldn't record in your room, because you're going to fall asleep.
I'm not. Well, I'm sitting up. All
right. You slap yourself in the face a couple times.
I keep getting fucking like weird notifications from Skype about like this fucking crypto and forex like chat.
Sure, I've gotten some spam through here recently. I don't know.
Is Skype dying?
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. We should probably. We said years ago we were going to switch to a different platform for this, but I think it's funny and charming that we ask people to reinstall Skype.
Yeah.
It's hilarious when they're like, what, Skype, really? And they're like, yeah, it's good.
It works. Does the job.
It has, like, never failed us. For real. Like, we have connectivity issues once every, like, 12 episodes, and it's so minor. It's good.
Yeah.
Skype rocks. What are y'all talking about? Get back on your Discord, kids. Because I used it last night to record that thing, and it sucked.
No, it didn't sound great.
I haven't listened to it yet, but that's on Tanner. So everyone should check out.
Well, Tanner's a champ.
He is. I'm
not here to insult Tanner.
Well, but he's the one who recorded it, so I'm putting it on him. Everybody should check it out. I don't know how it sounds.
I'll blame Discord.
Blame Discord. The Muscle Orchestra, is that what it's called? Muscle Orchestra podcast that I was on, the IWA Mid-South Draft. I think it's good. I don't know. I haven't heard it. It might be awful.
That's a good episode.
Good. All right. All right, so the big, stupid, rectangular CZW tag belts. Love those belts. They look nice. Like, Eric references the Haas brothers, which is cursed.
Yeah.
I always, I'm expecting Charlie Haas. I've been expecting Charlie Haas to die for years now, and somehow he's still
it's
going.
incredible that he's still alive because he looks so bad at all times.
Yeah, I heard it's not a whole lot of fun to wrestle him these days. Let's see. Eric says, I got a lot of faith in those boys. He means dem boys, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And he says, don't tell me what I know. Eric says, don't tell me what I know and don't know John. And then how
such a funny relationship.
They really do feel married. And obviously they only keep commentating together for a few more years. It's so crazy that's like a 3-year partnership. Feels like it lasted a lifetime.
Yeah.
House says that Trinacid is in Japan defending our honor, Eric. Which Ring of Honor hadn't even started yet, and wouldn't book Trinacid until well into 2003. So I don't know what he's talking about there. All right, so the match. Kashmere begins with the baseball bat Russian leg sweep. Baseball bat Russian leg sweep on Mark. Justice hits Jay with some of his signature, like, dumb-looking strikes. And then Jay hits a leg lariat, fisherman buster, and then we get they call it a spaceman plancha, but it's like a tornillo con hello.
Yeah.
It's really cool, which is, Jay, you didn't see him do that a lot later in his career. Like, that's
No.
That's an early Jay move for sure. Mark does he teases a plancha of some kind, but he springboards up to the top and flips back into the ring onto his feet. And then Kashmere hits him in the back of the leg with a baseball bat. So we're in it now. We're immediately in it. Mark gets in the Tree of Woe. He's trying to get out, and then Justice Payne, like, just destroys his knee with one of those old plastic shitty chairs.
Yeah.
Eric says he's not even supposed to be here. Yeah.
I mean, it's CZW. Like, I would
expect the unexpected.
Yeah, you should not really hold to such, like... I always think about, like, when Joey Styles would reference the format and shit, and it's like...
Yeah. Tony Schiavone, too. This isn't on the format sheet. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the CCW format sheet look like? Written in crayon. Tree of Woe. Okay. Mark sells the leg, hits a double hand to the face is what Eric says it is. Double hand to the face. He's unable to hit any offense after flipping out of the pain thriller, and then a really clean ass double underhook DDT from Justice Payne. Say what you will about him, like he had a deep arsenal of offense, and it all looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have bitched out of a fucking of a weapon shot, or accidentally potatoed somebody on something that should have been very clearly a light shot, but like he had some good fucking moves as far as moves guys go. Mark goes for a leapfrog over Johnny, who spears him out of the air, which is a classic Johnny Kashmere spot. Always looks great. Good. Nobody really does that anymore. Block the leapfrog with like a stutter step and a spear. Yeah, I've seen Roman do it, I guess, to be fair. I guess Roman's kind of the modern Johnny Kashmere. Yeah.
They both love black pants.
That's true. That must be what I'm thinking of.
Let's get Roman in a puka shell necklace.
Yeah, hey, that would be great. Get him out there like dancing. You know, I guess Johnny didn't dance as much. It was always Trent that did the dancing. Yeah,
Johnny was just like creepy.
Yeah, he's like a psycho. Yeah, he's like a sex offender kind of looking guy. Johnny Kashmere is still alive. Still, he's managing the new Backseat Boys.
Yeah, he's more active than he's been in like a decade and a half, basically.
Yeah, it seems like he's kind of back. Did you see the clip of Rick Blade doing
yeah, fucking great.
Not breaking the table, like almost destroying himself? It's so good. It's like that was like a we are so back kind of moment for me. And then unfortunately, I haven't seen anything from any of those guys since, but it's just nice. I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad these guys are healthy and still failing to break tables.
Yeah.
After the spear, Johnny Kashmere locks in a figure four. Like, hell yeah, you know? Mark hits a double drop kick, tags in Jay. A double drop kick, like one leg for each guy. Tags in Jay. Brian Logan misses the tag. Referee Brian Logan misses the tag to Jay. And Eric makes fun of him for being fat and eating too many Logan specials, or I guess which is like a burger.
That's just like such an esoteric reference to use at this point in time. Eric.
He's the babyface commentator, too. Why is he making fun of the referee for being fat? He needs to lose weight, Eric.
He's such a hater.
Ruckus is fat. He needs to lose weight. So just like,
yeah, you say that about a man like Ruckus.
Yeah, like he defends that guy, but he's fucking mad at the referee. That's a working man. Come on, Eric. Come on, Eric. He's just trying to put food on the table. Too much food. We should just write a fucking Eric Gargiulo and John House like sitcom. That would be something.
I was literally talking yesterday about how good a workplace sitcom of Todd Gordon, Paul Heyman, Rob Feinstein, and Gabe Sapolsky would be.
Oh my god! Hey, that's the new Office spinoff, right? That's what they said.
Yeah, it's about running ECW in 1996.
Yeah, that's great. God.
Paul Heyman does Jim face after the mass transit incident.
Excellent. All right, Mark hits all right, Payne shoots Mark into the air for a power bomb. Sort of stumbles and falls backwards, maybe on accident, maybe on purpose. Turns it into a hot shot because Justice Payne's a fucking genius, obviously. Mark hits a cabrada on both the heels to take them out, but then sells the leg. Which is, he sells the leg afterwards. Good thing he didn't stop him from hitting a fucking backflip springboard.
This is CZW,
Sure, yeah, and he's like 15 years old.
He's a child.
Yeah. Jay hits the half Nelson on Payne, fucking destroys him. Half Nelson suplex, I should say, half and half. Eric says, Shades of Kina Kobashi. And then they hit something called the binary driver. I don't remember what that was.
That was very weird to me. I don't remember. That is very much a teenager learning a word and thinking it's cool.
Yeah.
It's like fucking like Paradigm or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Was Paradigm, was that ever in a CZW show title? Had to be. Binary driver. Personally, I think suplex is the spectrum, but we all have our own opinions of the matter. Both Briscoes on the apron now, and they flip out of vertical suplexes, hit stereo Germans on the heels. This is where I got a pop-up from Malware Bites with a 50% off offer for Mother's Day. Now there's a good Mother's Day gift. Here, Mom. Briscoes go for a tandem tope con hello, but Mark has to bow out to sell the leg. Then he manages to hit this sort of 180 press thing that I don't know how to... Eric doesn't know how to call it. I don't know what it is either. It was like not a Fosbury flop. I don't know what it was. It did a thing. It was cool.
Yeah.
Looked good. Briscoes go off on the heels now with chairs. Kashmere gets whipped into the crowd and in Jody Fleisch fashion, leaps inexplicably really high into that chain link, sports arena chain link fence. And then Payne also gets whipped into the fence. And he's sort of sitting on the rail, Payne is, and Mark... Jay gives him a Rana off the rail to the floor.
Looked awesome.
It's like, it looks like a miracle. Like, I don't know how they fucking did any of that. It's crazy. Eric says, "Excuse me," of course.
Great call.
Yeah, it's the signature shit. It's the good shit. Kashmere destroys Mark's leg with a chair. On the other side of the arena, Payne regains some control with his his sort of lazy offense. When Payne's coasting, you can always feel it. Like he's either doing the most or doing the least. There's no middle. Runs. He's
a sine wave. He's like he's if he's not vibing, you could tell. The idea of Justice Payne having some sort of borderline personality disorder or bipolar, that's actually extremely likely.
Oh yeah. No, we didn't do a full case study on him when we did the episode when he died. I should
we
listen to
didn't know he killed himself.
We didn't know that. Yeah, we didn't know. We didn't know. God.
Suicide is no joke, folks.
No, of course.
But Justice Payne doing anything is funny. So it's funny. We find ourselves at a crossroads.
Well said. When Nate Hatred died, we did that episode right after he died, or was it a while after?
It was like a few months.
It was a few
He
months.
died in October, I think.
Okay, and we didn't start the podcast till January.
Yeah,
okay.
we did that like February and March.
Episode 3, Hate Club is dead.
Oh, that would have been February.
Or Hate Club Forever. I don't know. Don't listen to that episode. That's why I always say we got to redo Cage of Death 5. I'm sure that
was
episode's
recorded
fine.
very late at night. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we didn't know. I don't know. I did listen. We
didn't know anything. We knew nothing. We didn't know it.
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah. By Mad Season, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the song we used in the break.
We might have, honestly. All right. So Kashmere destroys Mark's leg with the chair. And then, all right. Justice Payne runs Jay into the post. I kind of expected the blade to come out. But
they're so young.
Jay's 17 years old. Yeah, he just because we came to know him as a blood freak doesn't mean he was born that way.
No,
he had to be influenced for a while. House says it's time for a facelift, and Eric says you'd know about that, which is weird. And then House accuses Eric of being in Legally Blonde. And then Eric says, "You were in Jurassic Park."
Because you're so old.
What is going on?
See, at least I get... Legally Blonde
is a new movie.
Extreme non sequitur, because unless he's not accusing him of being Reese Witherspoon or even Selma Blair.
Yeah.
He's just saying he was in the movie.
He's in the movie.
Luke Wilson was in that movie.
Yeah.
Luke Wilson Fox.
Yeah. Jennifer, what's her name?
Jennifer Coolidge?
Jennifer Coolidge is in that movie. I haven't seen Legally Blonde in a long time, but
same.
People forget that was probably in the top 5 or 7 box office hits of the year. Like that's one of the biggest movies.
Yeah, it made $142 million on a $18 million budget, which is
fucking A. Launched Reese Witherspoon into another level of stardom. Like her.
Lana Ubach is in that movie. That's fun. This is a fun cast. Linda Cardellini's here. I know she's there because that meme pops up every so often.
What's the Linda Cardellini Legally Blonde meme? Sorry. I like her. I'm a big fan.
Just her on The Stand or something. I don't recall.
Okay.
She just looks good.
She
looks like fucking Linda Cardellini. She's great.
She's adorable and so heartbreaking in 2 scenes of Brokeback Mountain. One of my favorite performances of her. She's only towards the end. She's great.
Yeah.
Linda Cardellini. She's the best. God, she's the best. Did you see, what is that movie with Anna Kendrick? And And Blake Lively.
Oh, A Simple Favor.
Yeah, Linda Cardellini's got a good bit in that.
That's an excellent movie.
Oh,
that movie rocks.
Yeah, it's so good. Have you seen Thoroughbreds, the bad version of that movie?
No, but I want to because I'm on the Anya Taylor-Joy thing a little bit. I don't remember who the other one is in it.
It's Amber. No, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I saw the other because like Corey Finley, that guy had like a lot of hype, and I watched his Bad Education. And that was one of the worst movies I can remember seeing.
That guy stinks.
Of like that. Yeah, that movie was just awful. Yeah. Olivia Cooke.
Okay, sure.
Olivia Cooke hasn't done that much, really. I don't know.
Is she in Ready Player One?
Maybe.
Yeah, God, another bad movie.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Sound of Metal. I mean, those are some movies, but I haven't fucking seen them.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. He's got a bad will. Leave him alone. Mark dodges a Yakuza kick. All right, I'm skipping a little bit here. Eric mentions that the Briscoe's parents are in the building, accuses John House of having parents in California or Hawaii. Says, where are your parents? California? Hawaii? I guess implying that his parents are retired?
Either that or, like, is John House adopted? I don't know what he's... Eric Gargiulo... See, here's the thing. We need to get Eric Gargiulo on the podcast. Because he's one of the most important...
Never.
He wouldn't. He has too much...
he's selling domain names
dignity.
And shit. Yeah. Isn't that his whole grift? Is he sells, like, he parked a bunch of domain names, like, 20 years ago?
That might be. Because he did that for the NFL block and made like $20K, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That was funny. Everybody was like, "Damn, that's a low ball. Should have asked for like at least 6 figures." Although I have no idea what a domain goes for. Actually, I've heard of them going for $1 million or more. Right? Like this is a thing. Payne has a sort of gory special on Jay, and Johnny delivers a Masato Tanaka top rope chair shot to his stretched out midsection. Cool move. They both go for pins on Mark. Justice goes second, and Eric calls him egocentric for trying, which I think is kind of silly.
He's just a hater. He's such a hater.
Yeah, that's also like a Gorilla Monsoon, like exposing things, like pointing out logical gaps. Not one of my favorite commentator tropes.
Gotta hook the leg. Why haven't you hooked?
Yeah, you're not gonna pin anybody like that. You know, like just come on.
That wasn't enough. He needed more of a horizontal press, but it shouldn't be like criticism as much as that's just why it happened. Because then you're justifying like a kick out that you might not be able to justify as much if but as opposed to just being like, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Fucking wrestle.
Explain why the guy kicked out, not that it was a badly executed. Like, you're right. That's a good way. That's a good
heat of the moment. You just forget to do things sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you don't hook the leg. Hook the leg, man. All right, so he's got a bad wheel. Leave him alone. Mark dodges the Yakuza kick. Yakuza.
Let's just say Yakuza.
Yakuza. I mean, obviously
we're here
to
represent how Eric Gargiulo speaks.
Yeah, we know it's Yakuza. Like I know it's Kazuchika, but I still say Kazuchika. I don't know. Yeah. I don't fucking know. I'm from Southeast Texas. Give me a break.
I'm fucking Philly.
Lucky I can talk at all. Like we're two fucking idiots. So Jay did not.
I didn't think about when we were complete sidebar when we were talking about Red Rocket yesterday, because I watched Red Rocket yesterday. Great movie. Great movie. You being from that area.
Dude,
that area,
oh my god, it's all like League City.
Yeah.
It's straight up
Texas
it's
City,
so
fucking,
yeah, is it Texas City? It's literally the exact refineries that I would drive past every like once a week for my entire life. Oh, no, that movie captures Southeast Texas better than any other. When True Detective goes to literally Beaumont, Texas, where I was born and raised, and there's like this, there's famous, all right, season 1 of True Detective, I think it's episode 4, there's this long take. Yeah. It's like 4 minutes where McConaughey's character like has to run through the hood and avoid getting shot or whatever. That is not any part of Beaumont.
I was going to say, Pizzolatto has a thing, because he's a New Orleans guy, so he has like a thing, because he did that Galveston movie, which unfortunately isn't very good.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. He's a clown.
I mean, Ben Foster and Elle Fanning, I like them both a lot, but that movie itself is not very good.
Sure. No, Pizzolatto's an idiot. Clearly, he had something and he lost it for sure. But that's a poor representation of Southeast Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like representing Louisiana and like the swamps and shit, like I think they nail some of that, but I really couldn't say. But Sean Baker gets it.
Yeah.
Great filmmaker. He's got a bad wheel, Eric. I keep saying he's got a bad wheel.
It's great.
All right. Jay did not blade off the post shot, which I think is, which I at the time I was like, this is wrong, you know.
He is literally
he's a little kid.
A legal minor.
He could probably get, like, Zandig would get in trouble if a 17-year-old was bleeding on one of his shows. Although he'd probably get in trouble if it was revealed that a 17-year-old was wrestling on one of his shows. I mean, I know the laws in Pennsylvania were what were stopping, like, Mark from wrestling in the early Ring of Honor shows or whatever. But.
Yeah, that's why they had to do the Kenny and Keno Murdoch stuff. But like New Jersey doesn't. New Jersey is a lot wilder, as we know from from it becoming the hub of deathmatch wrestling.
Sure.
And obviously Delaware is similar from it also becoming essentially like its entire wrestling identity is based around like Tournament of Death.
And they don't even, have to pay taxes there, I hear. What's going on in Delaware? Cutthroat suplex by Mark, which is not really a suplex at all, but again, suplex is a spectrum.
It's essentially a burning hammer.
Yeah, it's a burning hammer with the arm cutthroat. I don't know. People know.
It looks great.
It's a great move.
And then I never really realized until you said it that Chris Cash was explicitly referencing Mark Briscoe, which is just such a funny thing.
Yeah.
He's older than Mark Briscoe.
I mean,
we all love Mark Briscoe, man.
Your influences can be lateral, Payne and Mark, there's a table in the ring. Payne gets Mark up on the table. Mark goes for a pile driver. Payne blocks it and throws him off the table over the top to the floor.
Disgusting.
It's awesome, right? Yeah. I thought, we'll see Mark. Mark is very willing to just land from high up onto nothing. He's fine with that. I thought the table was going to break. This is a good-ass table. Because Jay gets in then, manages to get on the table, and hits maybe the most incredible Jay driller I've ever seen through the table.
It's a great Jay driller. And it's up there with the one that Roddy took.
Match
we talked about last year.
And the match
on the singles episode.
The match, the picture that I edited into the "This is fine" dog in a burning room meme. Which I'm probably just going to do again with this, actually.
Yeah.
Then Kashmere sneaks in, grabs Mark with a shin breaker and his weird sort of wrong arm Saito suplex.
Yeah.
And gets the win. And we have new CCW tag team champions. I think this match could have gone another 10 minutes and had like a couple of blade jobs to really put it over the top, but I think it's a hot fucking match.
Gas to it.
Yeah, oh yeah. They definitely could have carried on, but fucking good. Really good. And it's a mid-card match. This wasn't meant to be like a showcase thing.
It's the semi-main.
Is it? Okay. Wow,
yeah.
Damn. I looked at the time.
That show was like that show only has like 6 matches on it. It's weird.
That's what the 01. Hate Club Dead, right? Has 5 matches or whatever, and one of them is mostly post-match.
It's weird because
is that the same month?
Yes, it was 2 weeks before. Mm-hmm. It's weird because maybe that's the better use of roster optimization, especially if so many people out. Like, this is not a stacked roster in terms of talent.
No.
It's a stacked roster in terms of like going for it, initiative.
Sure.
But
they fly
you
in.
Want to just book like a fatal 4-way tag or something instead of letting them get some time.
Yeah. No,
and single and 2 standard tags.
Is it this one has Red versus Quiet Storm versus Brian XL?
Ruckus, and it goes like
Ruckus.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's not enough time, but at the same time, they're all...
How long do you want those guys to go?
They shouldn't be they don't need 17 necessarily.
Yeah.
12. That's fine.
Sure. If you're not flying in the Winger and Minoru Fujita, you could let Nick Burke go 30. I'm sure he'd be happy too. But don't. You shouldn't do that. I don't know anything plays. Down, out. It's like a great song. Okay. Now we're going to go to not something completely different, because the second half of this show is going to be completely different. But we're going to go to the Budokan.
We're going to Tokyo.
The Budokan. It's the Briscoe brothers versus Kotaro Suzuki and Ricky Marvin. This is from Pro Wrestling Noah. This is from July 15th, 2007. Now, we did both realize that there's another match that it's got a higher cage match rating. Not that means anything.
It doesn't necessarily mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. But we both really enjoyed that. We both really enjoyed this. So I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
This is
our enjoyment was met.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
shouts out to Brian.
Yes. Okay. This is the last match in the Differ Cup.
No, this is the Nippon TV Cup.
Nippon TV Cup. Okay, Differ Cup is something. Differ Cup's a different thing.
Yeah.
The Nippon TV Cup, which is a junior heavyweight tag tournament, I guess.
Yeah.
The Briscoes come out to "Give Me Back My Bullets," which is a great fucking song. Mm-hmm. They've got the Confederate flag trash bag shorts on.
Yeah.
This is, I guess, pretty different from what we just watched.
Yeah, they have on the weirdly satiny almost.
Oh yeah,
very smooth.
Yeah,
those singlets.
Well, you have to assume that those things were made entirely for this trip to Japan. Yeah. Misawa-san was like, no camo pant,
yeah.
No camo pant. He made them wear this. And Kotaro and Marvin come out to some classic mid-2000s Japanese junior heavyweight music that just sounds like there's a guy noodling J-rock solos over a 130 beat per minute mess of a house song, Classic shitty music for a Noah junior heavyweight. The Briscoes get very little vocal response from the crowd, and then Ricky gets streamers and girls screaming Ricky.
Ricky Marvin with the worst haircut he's ever had. Too. He looks like Berlin.
Yeah. Well, similarly, they used to plant girls in the audience at Disney to swoon over Alex Wright coming out. This is kind of the same response he gets from the ladies.
Well, too, at their best, very pretty boys. There's no denying that.
Oh, for sure. No, Ricky Marvin has also aged into a really beautiful older man.
He looks good. He's a little he's gained some weight, but he's that's fine. He was a tiny little guy when he was very young.
Yeah. Well, that's what we want out of our late 40s luchadors. You got to plump up a little bit.
Yeah, he'd be a little chunky.
Yeah.
But he looks mostly distinguished. He could be a Dermot Mulroney.
Oh, for sure. Now, was Dermot Mulroney in My Best Friend's Wedding, or is that the
yes?
Other one? Okay.
That is not Dylan McDermott.
All right,
no.
So Dermot's the one. Dermot Mulroney is the shitty father in Angels in the Outfield.
Maybe. I haven't seen Angels in the Outfield in quite some time.
I mean, me neither. But I think when I think
about Stoker.
No, Chan-wook Park.
Yeah, he's the dad in that. To Wasikowska.
Yeah. Oh, that's definitely that's him. Then it's definitely Okay.
He is Angels in the Outfield. In the Outfield.
Cool. So Ricky Marvin would grow into being a Dermot Mulroney for sure. But here he's a cute little guy.
Yeah.
We get handshakes before the match, which the crowd claps for. Gabe Sapolsky's watching this with his dick out. He's loving this. And then we get, forearms and handsprings to start. Ricky does some lucha shit. There's a triple jump Rana, then a handspring fake out dive on Jay. Mark comes in, whips Ricky in. Ricky does a double jump, tornillo plancha to Jay on the floor. Kotaro.
He looks NBA dunk contest he looks like Vince Carter.
It's Vince Carter
shit. Also,
absolutely.
all of the Ranas are snapped so fucking well.
Yeah, this is
not a match where you would expect that to be an issue. But they all look outstanding. Well, and that's always something that deserves to be pointed out.
Yeah. I mean, Mark and Jay, not guys who spend any much time, if any, in Mexico, right? But they definitely know how to base.
They didn't go to Mexico until 2018.
Yeah, they know how to base for the head scissors and whatnot. Oh God, sorry, just bobbled my vape. Stupid sentence. Oh,
that's
God,
an underappreciated match. I want to say it's fucking Roosh and the Briscoes versus Park and the Lucha Brothers in Arena Mexico on Casas' 40th anniversary show.
Oh,
that match,
CMLL?
That's a really good match.
I don't think I've ever seen that. That sounds awesome.
And I think they wrestled Volador and...
I mean, you gotta wrestle Volador if you're going down.
Komeda on, like, a Hechicero produced show, which is okay. The main event of Hechicero and Chris Daniels is one of the best Chris Daniels singles matches in, like, forever.
God, I must have missed all that. This is also a match
from 6 years ago, but that's, like, Hechicero working NWA title style, basically. It's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds real good. Where's Ray Kometa? Does he still wrestle there?
He's
just in the undercard.
And Dolce Gardini. He's actually done pretty well the last couple of years. He's had a pretty good pandemic.
I never watched the full CMLL shows. I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice, but it's cool. Good show.
I'm always always like to see Kometa doing well. Pegaso.
Yeah, those are some guys. Those are some cool guys. I mean, obviously Valiente is the dude, but you know.
Have you seen Valiente's fucking freak daughters?
No,
I don't mean that insultingly. They're just like
wow.
Bill.
They're big.
Like him,
they're big like him. Okay.
Yeah,
barrel
like,
chest.
oh hell yeah. They
huge
tits. They have like Chihiro Hashimoto vibes. They're like these little girls, and you're like, cool. I want them to be fucking superstars.
Cool. I'll have to give that a look.
Yeah.
All right. So Kotaro comes in.
Hera and Olympia. Yeah.
Okay. No, I've seen. Okay. No, I have seen them. I didn't realize that was Valiente's girls. Cool.
Yeah.
There's a twisting tornado pescado from Kotaro. I'm saying real words, I swear.
Looks good. Kotaro, I don't think of as being a huge high flyer, but I also like him more when he gets older and he almost starts to become
Kotaro.
Like a Fuchi level, just like dick, like just hitting people right in the stomach and shit. But I've always enjoyed him.
I've always liked him too. In the mid 2000s, I thought he was like an Alex Shelley, sort of like a tricked out, he'll spin your arm around in a funny way and he'll drop you on the knee when you're expecting to get just dropped to the mat. The nolly fakey shit that we've talked about, where it's just like slight modifications on basic moves that look cool.
Yeah, like that was the wrist clutch era.
Yeah, oh yeah. It starts here for sure.
But I mean, we see like some incredibly state of the art shit in this match, and most of it looks fantastic. And if it doesn't look fantastic, most of it has like an extremely high degree of difficulty. We'll get to one, which is completely insane, I think, from the Briscoes soon enough.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Skip around here because this is a 30-minute Broadway.
Yeah.
Which we don't often do on this show because I don't usually care for such things, but they fucking nail it. They
fill the time. They
really do. It slows down here and there, but it feels like, it's time to slow down for a sec.
Yeah, and they all have great ring presence. Jay is always like just charging like a motherfucker when he's like breaking, like taking someone off the off the apron. That looks great. It is a 30-minute match, but it doesn't feel like a slog in any way.
No, they nail it. The classic All Japan tag fashion of running all the way across the second you get tagged in, I'm not going to go and attack the guy that's in the ring. I'm going to go run all the way across and knock that other motherfucker down. You get on the floor, Kotaro, you fucking asshole. Yeah. They go for a double superplex on Ricky off the top. Kotaro recovers, jumps up on the ramp lightning fast, runs along the apron, climbs up, sunset flips Jay off the top, then grabs Mark in an electric chair position. Ricky then jumps off the top and it's a Doomsday Rana, and then Kotaro does an incredible job here where he puts his hands underneath Mark's legs, flips him off so that he won't die.
Yeah.
On this very dangerous spot, when Rick and Scott would do the fucking the Doomsday DDT.
Yeah.
And it was just the guy taking it was just fucked.
No, that because the best way to do that is you have to try to push the guy's legs up and so they can hit perpendicular, hit parallel to the ring. Flat. They can hit flat. But
Mark never did that. Or no, Scott Steiner never did that for them.
No.
Hilarious. Fucking those assholes.
They're the best.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Although Rick Steiner, did you see him talking about Booker T? Did you see that? That was a viral clip that went around. I think Max Power shared it.
He did have a weird transphobic moment a couple years ago.
Oh,
Rick's old. Rick Steiner is a man whose gimmick 35 years ago was that he was Eugene. So he's not. I don't expect smart things out of Rick Steiner. I just
the character was the character itself had an extra chromosome, so you have to assume the man probably had a couple.
I just want him to be okay.
Yeah,
he's done enough for me.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not criticizing Rick Steiner. I'm just saying he is a racist, but I expect him to be. I mean, that's whatever.
He's a dumb guy,
big dumbass. That's So Doomsday Rana, then Kotaro hits this low drop kick and this front-seated gourd buster. Ricky hits this front-seated gourd buster on Mark, and it's going so fast. It's so fast. I kept having to pause this. It's a 30-minute match that took me an hour to watch.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but Ricky forces Mark into a sort of a satellite head scissor position, feeding him into a drop kick from Kotaro, which is really cool. I don't know if that makes any sense. This is a hard match to write up. They do slow down for a moment. Mark suplexes Kotaro, but Kotaro maintains wrist control. Tags out to Ricky. Cool. Ricky does some fucking lucha shit. Snapmare with the arm controlled into a crossface. Joint manipulation, spinning him around. And,
looks awesome.
Yeah, Yahweh shit. And, it gets him in the crossface, which I think at this point, what the date on this? I guess Chris Benoit.
This would have been about a month.
A month later.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I mean, maybe they didn't get the news yet over there. Ricky puts Mark in La Tapatia, the high elevated Mexican surfboard stretch, and does the incredible thing where he lifts him up, rolls it back down, lifts him back up, and rolls it back down. So sick. And just Mark's a lot taller than him. Yeah, seems like it would be difficult.
Mark's also such a great seller too. Visually, he's with the big, just the head. He looks fantastic taking it. Yeah.
He's playing to a foreign audience. He's doing the work for sure. And he's also flexible. I think Mark. Yeah. If you're going to do this move to anybody that's that height, I think this is a good guy to do it too. And then Kotaro leg drops Mark from the surfboard. Fuck, dude.
Oh yeah, that's nasty.
That's so crazy. Just the height he has to get to do it. It was awesome. Kotaro with an STF, isolating Mark again. We get a shot of Kenta and Taiji Ishimori watching from the edge of the Budokan. Which I didn't understand until later, and I kind of figured out that this is a tournament match, and they're waiting on the result to see if they win the tournament.
Ishimori has some hilarious pants.
Yeah, those are. I don't know if he wrestled in those pants or if he just showed up in them, but Kenta looks like Kenta's fully. The heir apparent of Tenryu, just no expression,
Yeah, he's got the takeover shirt, all that.
Yeah.
He's Kenta.
Yeah, he's going to be at Best of the Best. You see that?
Hell yeah.
He's been booked for this year's Best of the Best.
DJ has him on hold, has his fucking number. He has got the hotline. Yeah.
He's going to wrestle Storm Grayson, maybe, if we're lucky. Let's see. Marvin suplexes Mark on the ramp, throws him back in the ring. On the floor, Kotaro delivers one of his low-impact heel kicks,
Yeah.
That's not his best stuff. Marvin knocks Jay off the apron, yells something in Spanish to the ref, dude, he does not understand you. They got a high crab, a walls of Marvin on Mark now, and then Jay comes in, boots the hell out of Marvin to break the hold. Marvin now with the toe hold, sends Mark into the post, tags in Kotaro, who hits the Dos Amigos, two suplexes.
Yeah.
Tag back out. They're going back and forth, back in, back out. Mark vaults over Marvin here off a whip to the corner, ducks an elbow, manages to tag Jay. Crowd is kind of dead, but Jay's a house of fire. Looks awesome. He hits a Rana, and looks great.
Oh yeah, that one I was so happy with that one. That's a great snap Rana too.
Yeah, and it's a guy that's got really long legs, so he just doesn't even have to leap as much. Just sort of runs like he's doing a Yakuza kick, and just sort of. Finds the legs around the head and leans back. It's so cool. I've never done a Hurricane Rana.
I would never call the Briscoes truly gangly, but they were rangy despite the fact that they were fucking jacked too.
Yeah,
they weren't like Chuck Taylor. rangy, but
Sure.
they just had long limbs. They had like basketball.
Yeah, it feels like they can get their leg up high easier than most guys.
Yeah,
like it's an effortless big boot from both of them, but especially Jay. Jay it feels like his legs could go on forever.
One of probably the greatest Yakuza kickers of all time.
Yeah, I think so too. We'll see it a little bit.
I've never been disappointed by a Jay Briscoe boot.
Yeah, he knows how to do it. And if you're not leaning into it, well, he's gonna just extend that leg a little further and fucking make you take it.
Come on now.
What a good wrestler. All right, House of Fire, Rana, flatliner into the middle buckle on Kotaro. Ricky Marvin does his fucking dumbass handspring shit, and Jay catches him, Germans his ass. He goes for it's so good. He goes for a backslide. Kotaro gets tagged in, crossbodies Jay, who jumps into the bump like Randy Orton in 2004.
Yeah.
Atomic drop kick to the ass, leads Jay to the middle. They double 619 him, which I think is 1238. Yeah, okay. Marvin's on the ramp. Kotaro grabs a Muda lock. It's a Muda lock. Is that where you bridge back? Something like that.
You bridge back, yeah.
Marvin goes to the ramp. He's going to run the distance of the ramp and vault over and do some, like a drop kick or something. But Mark cuts him off with a lariat on the ramp. Crowd goes, oh, like, didn't see that coming. And then Mark runs, vaults over the top rope from the ramp, vaulting senton onto Kotaro while he's in the Muda lock to break the hold. Fuck yeah.
Great stuff. Every time, like, I love I don't know why, but whenever someone, like, the bridge, like, the splash to someone bridging, always, because you just expect that to, like, kill their neck.
It's so scary. Also, like, it just, I mean,
best case scenario, they blow out an ACL somehow.
Yeah, right? No, I think if the person bridging times their collapse perfectly, then it can look great and be completely safe. But it often feels like one of them is like a millisecond off and it fucks it up and it looks brutal. Which we're here for, obviously. Briscoe's hit a double side effect, for lack of a better term.
There's no it's double side effect, very funny.
They do. Mark hits he does some redneck kung fu. He's doing the hi-ya as he springboards into a heel kick. He's
doing big woos and shit. He's having a ton of fun.
Stan Lane chops. I guess he was already doing this business back then. I don't know when redneck kung fu becomes a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't think it went this far back, but maybe it does.
Maybe it's after their hiatus, the 06-07 period is when it becomes a thing.
Yeah, God, that match, that Hellaware match.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's basically like if they don't have that match, do they end up being the Briscoe brothers for like the possible greatest tag team of all time? Who knows?
They had to get that out of their system.
Yeah, it's like man, that was some fun shit. Absolutely.
God, if people haven't seen Hellaware Wrestling Federation or whatever it's called, the Mark versus Jay Briscoe match where they both just beat each other with chairs, it's the best. Let's see here. Jay runs in. Mark hits a thrust kick. He bounces to the apron, hits a springboard tornillo splash on a Kotaro, like a Scorpio, Too Cold Scorpio kind of move. Jay runs in, cactus clotheslines Kotaro over and himself over the top to the floor, and then Mark hits the fucking senton atomico plancha to Marvin on the floor. I tell you what, Mark jumping off the top to the floor, this guy has no fear. It's in every one of these matches at some point. He just he's not afraid of heights whatsoever. He's not afraid of landing either. It's just whatever happens. They're fucking moving a mile a minute. Thrust kick, big boot combo from the Briscoes. They go for a doomsday thing. Let's see, Marvin tries to springboard in to cut it off, but Mark adjusts, knocks him out of the air, and they try a second time and nail it. Doomsday. Just a classic Doomsday device with the lariat. Kotaro fights off both brothers, and tombstones Mark. Jay grabs his foot, though, locks in an STF, and slow it down for a second so people can catch their breath. Kotaro fights super hard to get to the ropes, breaks the hold with the ropes. The crowd applauds. They appreciate that they slowed it down, too, because they were having a hard time.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Running gut wrench suplex, running knee drop from Mark, double shoulder block from them boys, slowing the pace down. Big drop kick from Jay. almost like too big. Then they do the demolition backbreaker combo, kind of. But instead of a normal elbow drop, like Bill Eadie would do, or no, Barry Darso would do the elbow. Mark does this, like, he
does a Starship Paint.
He does basically a Starship Paint.
It's so fucking awesome. It's the stupidest idea. It's an insane thing to do. It's great.
He vaults from the apron, so he's not standing on the top like Johnny TV would. He's standing in his tag position, vaults up and split legs and does the corkscrew press thing.
Yeah, almost like does it Sabu style. Like,
it's very Sabu-esque. And he takes his brother out too. Like, it's fully just a mess when they land.
It was an idea, and I'm glad we saw it, even if it didn't work out exactly right.
It's so awesome, though. And Jay's just like, fuck it, I don't know, I'll just stay, and whatever happens, man, fuck it. That seems to be the prevailing sentiment from most of the Briscoe brothers stuff, is that they just like, I don't know, fucking nobody ever did it before. All right, well, we'll find out what happens if you do.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jay goes for Kotaro managed to fight through with a series of his whatever offense that's a little goofy. Marvin's in, thrust kicks over and over. His strikes like always looked a little bit better than his like junior heavyweight contemporaries. I think Ricky Marvin just, I don't know if that's just lucha or what, but he just would put his thrust kicks a little further out. His elbows had a little more snap. Like, he would make Taiji Ishimori, who was his partner also for years, but Taiji Ishimori like looked like shit by comparison. I think I always had a bad opinion of Taiji Ishimori because I had to watch him through the lens of, let's get Ricky Marvin back in there.
Yeah.
All right. Jay goes for all right, top rope drop kick all the way across the ring from Ricky Marvin. A tornado DDT on Jay, basically drop kicks Mark in the process, takes them both out.
Like a run up, always classic.
Yeah.
It's never, nobody's ever unhappy to see like the run up the one opponent to tornado DDT the other opponent.
Yeah, I just saw a clip of Spike Dudley and doing the acid drop where he runs up Big Sal.
Big Sal, that's fantastic.
So cool, so cool. Jay goes for kick, caught by Marvin. Marvin hands his foot to the referee, which is some real like lucha shit,
Yeah.
Jay still manages an enziguri, and then Mark is in, hits something. So there's so much going on. Mark hits a shooting star press on Ricky Marvin. Kotaro has
I always loved his shooting star.
It's a great form. It's a wonderful look to his shooting star. Kotaro has to fight through Jay to break the pin, or it would have been over. Ricky then also he grabs the ref again to avoid being sunset flipped. This is just stuff you wouldn't normally see in a Japanese junior heavyweight tag. This is like lucha moves. Marvin has a really cool move where he sort of swings around the back of his partner. Like, so he looks like he's going to give Kotaro a head scissor or T. Harris or whatever, but instead Kotaro just launches him into a drop kick on Mark. That's fucking cool. God, there's still so much of this. No, so we're getting there. Moves. Do it. Moves. Do more. Kotaro's with the super Frankensteiner on Mark. Mark comes back, German, an exploder, super kick. Kotaro's shote, his uppercutting palm strike, which always looked good.
Yeah.
And they keep cutting to a very sweaty Kenta. He looks like I don't know if he's wrestled or if he's just,
he did wrestle. Yeah, they had the match before.
Okay. Jay matrixes under a clothesline, lifts Marvin for a sidewalk slam. Mark comes off the top with a leg drop. Fucking awesome.
They hit the death penalty.
The death penalty. Which
that was AMW. That was America's Most Wanted.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that it wasn't a side slam when they did it. He would hold him it was like a reverse wheelbarrow.
Yeah, because there's so many like the Sicilian slice, which is just the backbreaker leg drop combo.
Right, that's dangerous. That's really dangerous.
Yeah. But
in my head, I remember him holding him like a. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a wheelbarrow, but with the guy facing you. So inverted wheelbarrow. Hi, Roy. Yeah. Cat's here.
Hey, Roy.
Cat knows we're recording.
Roy.
Kotaro. Let's see. Jay. All right, so they announce that they're entering towards the 30-minute mark. The announcer comes over and says, 5 minutes or whatever, how many minutes left. Jay gives Marvin a crucifix powerbomb into a leaping neck breaker from Mark, which I think is the move that broke Viano 4's neck in WCW.
Yeah, the fucking Batista Bomb RKO.
Oh, yeah. That's the WrestleMania 30 special, of course. Mark is up on top looking for maybe another SSP, but Kotaro leaps up there with him and jumps in tandem with him. They both kind of...
I have to call this a neck breaker.
I called it a wrong direction super Russian leg sweep.
That's more accurate. Like, if I want to be like, well, if I have to like be technical, I'm going to call it the neck breaker and just be like generous and just be like, that's what happened. But it is weird.
I mean, as we've discussed recently, the neck breaker again is also a spectrum. Like, the
neck breaker is a fucking embryo. It's embryonic.
Yeah. The crowd's coming to life here in the last few minutes. They're inching towards the 30-minute draw, it would seem. Jay drags Mark to his corner, forces the tag, which I always love. Big boot for Marvin, knocks the fucking shit out of him. Drop kicks Kotaro out of midair as Kotaro kind of goes for a classic flying nothing.
Yeah. He does. He takes it right in the heart, though. Looks great.
Cat, you gotta stop. The cat's eating the plant again. Oh, it's like so loud when it's right here.
He loves that damn plant.
It's dead now. This plant is dead. Like, it's super dead.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pet you, and if it'll be quieter. Jeez.
We're hitting the break. We're hitting the break.
I'll get you some turkey. All right. Fucking Walmart deli was closed for like three separate days that I went.
That's annoying.
Yeah, they would put a sign, like a handwritten sign that said "due to staffing." Motherfucker, due to not paying enough. You know what the fucking deal is.
If I see due to it better, as long as it's not due to staph infection, but still.
Oh yeah. Well, that's it. I will go to Hy-Vee or a different, Kroger or whatever. All right, so crowd is picking up here. And Jay gets Kotaro up in the electric chair. Okay, Mark is on the apron preparing to springboard when Ricky jumps on the top turnbuckle nearest to him, jumps off, lands on Mark, delivers a flying super Rana off the fucking apron to the floor. Again, Mark loves to bump from a high place to the floor. Kotaro leans back then from the electric chair position, leans back, reverse Rana to Jay. Fuck.
Yeah.
German suplex hold gets 2.999. I thought it was over there for sure. I really did. They cut back to Kenta, who looks like he's almost going to smile. Never seen it happen, but I think it's possible. Kotaro then lifts Jay in the electric chair. Ricky springboards off the top. Doomsday Shining Wizard. Fuck me. Awesome. Holy shit.
This is such a fucking exploration of what you can do with a Doomsday device, and you can be mad at that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this match excessive? Sure, who cares? But they're going for things that are just wild. They're not just it's not just Davey shit or something.
Yeah,
There's a level of invention that does transcend how silly it might come off.
And they're going a solid 30. This. I mean, look, they could have gone. This match could have lasted forever in theory. But it had to stop at some point, and it stops with a draw. It's good. I love it. I love that. They earned it in this one. Tombstone Piledriver from Kotaro gets 2. Kotaro then finally hits the Blue Destiny, which is is it the Widow's Peak? Is that the name of that move?
Yeah.
Victoria's finish?
Yeah, the gory special neck breaker.
Gory special neck breaker. Which is a really cool move that looks like it would destroy your fucking knees, but you're supposed to sell the neck or something on it, neck and back or whatever. Me and my friend Josh, who wrestled as Chains, Chaynz, and I think the Y and the Z were capitalized.
Hell yeah.
He's a juggalo, But me and him, we would work on this. We had this idea for a backslide backcracker, where you set up for a backslide and then you just drop to your knees, and it's sort of a gory thing.
Yeah.
And you sell the back, because this was the age of the backcracker, the lung blower becoming a thing. And we could never figure it out. And then one time we hit it really good and it looked really good, but he almost broke his wrist or something doing it.
Yeah,
so then we just, it's kind of the same kind of move. Shouts out to him. So he hits that. Ricky hits I guess it's the Made in Japan, basically, right? Or whatever, on Mark.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to it's like a hip toss into a driver. Fucking.
Yeah, sometimes you go over the head, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. It's a fucking Hiromu, for sure. Proto Hiromu. And then he assists Kotaro in the Super Blue Destiny or whatever.
Yeah.
Which basically amounts to him. So Kotaro gets Jay back up again, the gory special, and sets up for the Blue Destiny. And then Ricky Marvin sort of stands in front of Kotaro and delivers a jawbreaker to his own partner, kind of.
It's like it's sort of like how you would try to do this is a standing spike pile driver of it, and it's very weird.
It's a spike Blue Destiny. Good.
It's like he's trying to hold like the shoulders, I think.
And of course, this increases the impact of the Blue Destiny by at least 50 to 75%, if not doubling it outright. I mean, you know how logic in wrestling works. But there's no referee because the referee gets taken out.
Gets a super kick to the dome.
Yeah, Ricky Marvin accidentally takes the referee out, which is ironic because he kept fucking with the referee throughout the match, which I thought was a nice, logical building. You see people on the floor trying to get the referee awake, and then another referee gets in, and you can know it's a different referee because he's got a different colored shirt on.
He's got blue shirt.
Blue shirt. He slides in, counts 1, 2, so close, and then the bell rings, and we have 30-minute Broadway in the Budokan.
Yep.
And fucking Kenta and Ishimori win the tournament, walk away mildly satisfied. And again, apparently this is according to Cage Match, this is the lesser beloved tag between these two teams. But man, this fucking rocked.
Yeah, like who gives a shit?
We don't do a lot of like work rate junior heavyweight tags on this podcast. But
no,
sometimes if it's been long enough since you've seen one,
it hits the spot.
Yeah,
it hits the spot. Tony's original Italian steakhouse.
Yeah. That's a good episode.
That's a great episode.
The Carnage Crew episode. All right, so we're going to take a little break. We're going to listen to a Steve Albini song, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Gonna eat what I pick, and I hope you choke on it. I'm proud to break a sweat. Satchel Paige. It's a Gary Cooper story, and it shines like Sammy's knee. You're gonna eat what I pick, and I hope you choke on it. When I dance, I raise the dead.
You're very cute. Stop it now. I haven't smoked weed in, what is it, 39 days? That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Considering
feeling good.
I feel fine.
Yeah,
It's the end of the world as I know it, but, All right, this cat. You gotta move, cat. I'm gonna not be able to do this. Oh, he's a sweet boy. But fuck off. Get out of here. Welcome back to Wrestling is Gross. I think. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The cat's now got his claws caught in the tablecloth.
Oh,
He's a cute guy, but he's so stupid. He's a stupid idiot. Oh, go there. Go do something. Go look out the window at a tree for 4 hours, like you love to do. Picture ripping the throat out of a bird. All right. Good podcast, huh?
yeah.
I think we're doing great. All right, let's do it something absolutely completely different now. It is time. From Ring of Honor. It's
September
17th?
17th, 2011.
What's the show? Is it Death Before Dishonor?
It's Death Before Dishonor 9 at the Manhattan Center.
It's the Briscoe brothers versus the All Night Express.
Yes, Kenny King and Rhett Titus.
Gotta say, here's some guys I assumed we would never talk about.
Yes. See, like, if you're capturing the Briscoes in Ring of Honor, much like the Jay Adam Cole match, which was very good.
Same year, right?
To talk about them. Yeah, you do need to talk about how they had to deal with some goddamn fucking doofuses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting back into wrestling.
Red Titus, man.
I mean, look at him now. Like, look at him at the beginning, then look at him at the end. And it's a new guy. That's Rhett Titties at the end. Like, that guy's cool. I got back into wrestling in like 2010, and I you check out Ring of Honor because Ring of Honor's like, look, Punk and Danielson are in WWE now. That's part of how I ended up getting back into wrestling in the first place, was because I was like, oh, these guys are just on TV. That's crazy. So I'd watch that, but then I was like, well, what's going on in Ring of Honor? And you watch it, and it sucks. It sucks so much. Just full of people that I couldn't care less about. Your fucking Tyler Blacks and your Davey Richards and Michael Elgin. Like, these are like, we talked about it. We talked about the 6-pack challenge or whatever, of the main event scene of Ring of Honor in 2011 was just like, it's like the worst guys imaginable. I mean, say what you will about Eddie Edwards or whatever, but I think he sucks. Personally, I've never found a reason to think otherwise. So yeah, basically unwatchable. But this is a ladder war. Is that right?
Yes.
Which was how they would. Now, are all the ladder wars just regular ladder matches, like with the thing hanging?
Yeah, I don't believe that there's a ladder war like where they like the Shield team.
Sure. I was
thinking
about the same match.
Back, where it's like here's all the shit.
It's called a TLC, but it's just here's the accoutrement, but it's a pinfall match.
Yeah.
Oh, the Paul London Michael Shane is just a street fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just happens to have a ladder. So we got Dave Prazak on the call, but the mix is hilariously unbalanced.
Oh, it's terrible. It's very 2011 IPPV.
Yeah, they had not figured it out yet. The crowd's super loud, which is great because we will hear some very key moments from the crowd.
Yeah.
We start with the Briscoes attacking All Night Express before they can even get in. The crowd chants, "We want blood," immediately, and Prazak says, "We're going to get it." So, awesome. Jay starts a clap chant, like a clap, 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 but he does it by smacking a ladder into the fucking ring post. Like, what a good wrestler. ANX takes over briefly, but the Briscoes are just overwhelming. They're fucking monsters here. And these two guys, really, I didn't know what to expect from this. I thought, surely the Briscoes are going to bleed or whatever. Yeah. I really didn't know what to think, because I don't remember ever liking a Rhett Titus or Kenny King match. I don't know if I ever had an opinion on them at all, honestly. But they do get swarmed immediately. They get thrown into those loud, thin metal ROH barricade signs, which we've talked about before, which is just a brilliant design. Just a total cheat at what could turn a regular nothing spot, like getting sent into the rail, into something that's suddenly spectacular. Just because it goes, whatever. Rhett sells a single chair shot to the back, like it's the first time he's ever been hit with a chair, and stuff like that. Kenny King is running around, like they're running around, they're doing things. Kenny King gets flipped into a back body dropped into a table, propped up against the rail. Like, this is all in the first minute or so. Yeah. And then in the ring, Mark's beating up Rhett. The thing about Rhett is just typing his name feels bad. I hate it. Rhett Titus.
It's a terrible name.
Yeah. Jay lays a ladder across from the apron to the rail, and again, he picks up the ladder, and he starts a clap, 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 audience call and response chant by smashing the ladder rhythmically against the guardrail. This is a good fucking wrestler. This is a guy who gets it. Then the brothers take turns sabooing Rhett with the chair. Rhett. Rhett tries a fiery comeback, gets cut off with a chair shot. The crowd chants one more time. Like, I was wondering, were they like mega heels? Are they over?
The All Night Express, I think they're over.
Do people look back on them fondly? What are they doing now? He was the handsome stranger or whatever, right?
Yeah, the romantic touch. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Wait, who's the handsome stranger?
The handsome, I think that's Buff Bagwell in GWF.
Okay. I mean, I guess the same kind of guy. If Buff Bagwell would have had like a match where he bled all over the place, I'd probably be into that too. Kenny King, where's he at?
He was in TNA for a while. I think he might be there still. I'm not fucking sure.
God. I mean, that's where they go to die,
He was on
right?
The Bachelor or something.
He was on The Bachelor. Yeah, The Bachelorette, yeah. I remember that. Because he was like working for Ring of Honor at the time.
Yeah.
And they like tried to like be like, oh, it's like mainstream, you know.
Rhett Titus is primarily a guy who does jobs teaming with Tracy Hot Sauce Williams in fucking Ring of Honor right now. And Kenny King is... I don't fucking know.
Working Florida Indies or whatever. Yeah. God, I saw a Garrett Kidney tweet showing this clip of Hugh Laurie in an episode of House watching an episode of TNA.
Yeah.
And how 22 million people watched that episode of House, which made it by far the most watched wrestling, the most of like the modern era or whatever, since like the main event or whatever. Very funny. Very funny. TNA. You know what? I watched Josh Alexander versus Hammerstone. Is that right? Hammerstone?
Yeah, Hammerstone.
Josh Alexander blades his ear in it.
Hell yeah.
It was cool. I put it in the match thread. If you're not following the match thread, I mean you, Siobhan, but also if you, the listener, are not following.
I'm following the match thread.
I'm putting some heat in there. I put anytime anybody bleeds or does something cool, I mean, that's not the only criteria, but it's got to, you do some cool shit. It's going in the thread. So yeah, they take turns sabooing Rhett with a chair. There's a flatliner. Jay does the flatliner into the chair, prop between the buckles, which he did to Kotaro in the match, in the Noah match, but with no chair. And this is where Rhett blades, right?
Yes.
It's like super early. And it's so much.
It's a ton. This is a literal buckets match.
Yeah.
This is a insanely bloody match.
Feels like he definitely had never done it before.
Yeah, he would have been like 23 or 24. I mean, he's like very young here, honestly. Like that. So I have no clue if he was like committed, like what he thought about. Like, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna blade because that's
you show me how to do it, right, Jay? You'll show me how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, Red. Don't worry about Bo.
He doesn't get Jay to do it for him. Which I don't know if we've really talked about it much.
He had just turned 24 2 days before, so yeah, that's young.
Cool. Yeah, that is young.
In Ring of Honor is like a little doofus, but like he had.
I mean,
having fucking like important matches.
I cut my head with a razor blade when I was 14 years old for the first time. So like, takes all kinds, but still, I really got the sense that he had never done it, and really didn't know how much to do, like. And God bless him, because he fucking it's an incredible blade job. He looks great. He runs it into his hair. His hair looks disgusting, and he sells the entire match like a guy who's lost a lot of blood. Now I don't know if that's actually selling or if he just lost a lot of blood, but I'm in it. I'm immersed all the way. Fucking I kept accidentally typing Rhett tits, and I mean shit. That's fair. This dude's got it. It's like, I mean, shit. This is a big titty blade job right here.
Oh yeah.
All right. So So Rhett gets all right. Jay's gonna back body. No, Jay's gonna back body. I don't know. One of the Briscoes is gonna back body him over the top. To the ladder that's hung between the apron and the guardrail. He manages to land on the apron and then suplexes Mark over the top onto the ladder. Now he doesn't go down with it. He doesn't like commit fully to the suplex and just sort of heaves Mark, like Bray Wyatt style or whatever, right? Which I would normally criticize because that's like some or invite pussy shit if you don't follow through with the move and go with, but he immediately, redeems it because he's covered in blood, gets in the ring, does a tope con hello onto the other side. So like he couldn't have suplexed Mark all the way through the fucking ladder because he's got to do the next spot, which is always a good excuse to me because this is wrestling and hey, what's more important than making this spot look good? Well, I got to get in position for the next one. Suddenly talk like Jamie Dundee when I talk about it, but he does a great job. Tope con hello onto Jay and his own partner on the other side, and he's just bleeding a ton. He's just bleeding a ton. He puts both hands on his forehead, runs it into his hair, which is, this guy gets it. I don't know. I'm not going to say Rhett Titus is a great wrestler, but this is a fucking performance.
You only got to be great one night sometimes.
I'm never going to forget this. I've never seen this, and I will never forget this.
Absolutely.
Rhett Titus is one of my guys now, even if I never watch him wrestle again.
The Rhett Titus who existed on September 17th, 2011 is one of your guys.
That's right. That's right. What he does next is he grabs the top of the guardrail, starts lifting it and bouncing it up and down, and basically headbanging and covering the audience in his blood. Yeah. And you see people in the front row, like, putting their hands over their faces. Like, people, like, 3 rows back are like, oh, no, go, putting their hands, like, it's just awesome. It's so good. And this is the first time I wrote Rhett Tits right here. So, and then I wrote it again because I was like, oh, Rhett Tits. That's funny. Double drop kick. They double drop kick a ladder into Jay's crotch. Rhett throws Mark off the apron, forcing another minor ladder bump. While Kenny scoop slams Jay onto a ladder in the ring. They do a sort of Sabu RVD double team. Like, Kenny King does a springboard 180 leg drop, and then Rhett does like a big splash onto Jay while he's on the ladder.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh, belch. Sorry. Don't know how much that came through. Did you hear me burp just now?
It was fine.
Okay. They then put the ladder on Jay's head, run the ladder into the ring post, smashing Jay's head between the rungs. That gets this is awesome chant.
Yeah.
And then Kenny King goes for a flipping dive over the top, but Mark has picked up a piece of the broken table, holds it up, and it acts as a shield. Like, he still takes the plancha. What do you think about this?
I thought that whipped. It worked, and I don't know why I'm seeing like all the little splinters. Like Kenny King's ass is covered in splinters at some point in this match, and that's fucking great. That's a visual you don't get that often, weirdly, because usually table breaks, you're done with it. But
yeah, these tables explode.
That's getting the most out of the fucking table. That's some good shit.
Yeah, every part of the chicken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the expression? Yeah.
That's fine.
Every part of the pig. Every part of the cow.
Every part of the animal.
Okay, there we go. I never fucking butchered anything, I buy the breasts, I buy the thighs, I get ground beef, I don't know. I'm not afraid of putting my hands in the stuff, but I never fucking killed one myself. Except for that mouse that was behind the trash can. I did kill it, and then I cooked it, and I ate it. So Rhett looks so awesome covered in blood. He's like desperately throwing shots. He's withstanding chair throws. He's getting thrown in the rail, but he keeps coming back. He does an enziguri with his foot all like twisted up in a bunch of streamers. Like he's that can't be an accident. This guy just gets it. I kept thinking over and over in this match, Rhett Titus understands everything he's doing so perfectly. He knows exactly what he's doing. Jay gets busted open and just bleeds a ton.
Oh, man. He's just consistently spitting blood the entire fucking match. Blood, sweat, it's insane.
No, but the spitting specifically, where he like lets it pool onto his lips and then he gets it. He like knows.
He gets a little, and he has a little bit of this Samoa Joe, just the stringy blood. Yeah, just wild. Yeah, it's an incredible.
You don't see that often enough. Big Lou Nixon at that Ruthless Pro Mania Weekend show, I could see like blood hanging off them. You know when blood hangs off of a person? Yeah. Big Lou Nixon. I don't know. I haven't fully converted you yet. I don't know if you've seen a lot of his stuff, but that's a guy. That's one of our guys.
I gotta see more of his ICW. I think I saw him in XPW or something. Was like, but nobody gets the most out of an XPW match. Really.
That's true. You got to see him in Rise Underground to really understand him.
How the fuck was that? Was King of the Death matches 2022 California so goddamn good? Was Rob actually paying people that night?
Yeah, well, I mean, Necro was...
Did they just have an actual good vibe?
Necro and Hoodfoot is a great match, but the Necro Big F and Joe 2-minute long match where Necro comes out with bare feet and dares Big F and Joe to take his shoes off, and Big F and Joe just like, all right, fuck it, all right, mate. And they do it, and it's that's a good show. That set the bar for
new XPW in a way that is
way too
insane.
high. Yeah, just
really
way too high. So Jay bleeds so much, obviously, as he is wont to do. We know this about Jay Briscoe, that he's one of the best bleeders of all time. In the ring, Rhett slams a ladder like directly into Mark's forehead like 3 or 4 times, and I knew the blade job was coming up on Mark too, because that was so deliberately like targeted. And on the floor, Kenny slams him and moonsaults off the rail onto him, which is cool. Big man up chant as Jay tosses a ladder from the apron at Rhett, which becomes a recurring theme where they're just like, fuck you, stay down, throw some shit at you. They call it, I think Prazak calls it, but Jay suplexes Rhett on the ramp. And when we cut back, we don't see the suplex, but we do see Jay Briscoe just covered in blood.
Oh, yeah.
And then he sets up a ladder across 2 chairs behind one of the ring posts and sets Rhett along it, atop it, runs along the apron, like 3 steps, like a quick, a short burst, back senton onto Rhett across the ladder. Fuck.
Yeah, great.
That is a Jay Briscoe move. He does a back senton. We've seen it before, right? He'll do it off the top.
Yeah. But
I never think of it as a Jay Briscoe move. And then when he pulled it out here, I was like, oh, man. This guy, knows all the best moves. He just knows all the best moves. You know when wrestlers, the wrestlers choose their move set, and they're like, all right, I'm going to make a list. I'm going to do this, and this. Like, Jay picked all the best moves. He's got the Tiger Driver 98, back senton, big boot. And, what the fuck else do you need? Exploder. Great wrestler. Man up chant again, and they beat on Kenny in the ring. Both Briscoes do, as Kenny now very clearly becomes the only one who hasn't bled.
He is covered in
others'
blood. But he has not bled himself. And we get the make Kenny bleed chant.
It starts with the make him bleed, and then they modify it to make Kenny bleed. And at this point, I was like, he's not gonna bleed, is he? And I was like, he fucking better. They do a double Beal into a ladder, which is a hellacious bump.
Oh, yeah.
Which brings about a "You killed Kenny" chant.
Yes.
Remember that?
2011. But you know what? It worked. It was funny.
You remember Authorita? Fucking, Big Gay Al?
Officer Bar, Brady.
Yeah.
My name's not Officer Butt, baby. Here's the thing about South Park. Early 90s to 2001 South Park.
Don't say it's good.
Is funny.
I don't know.
That's not good.
I don't know.
Because they are still doing things like the affirmative action is bad episode.
It's all shitty. That's the thing. That's the thing about South Park that I discovered in the last 5 years, is that it was always just. I mean, it's obviously it's like an edgelord show or whatever.
Yeah.
But we got a whole generation of people our age that are fucked up because South Park told them some things were funny that weren't fucking funny.
No, yeah.
And I understand that is the point of South Park, but also fuck that. Nah, I'm not a fan.
And as I haven't watched, but at least I felt like when I was I just couldn't watch the older, the newer episodes, but those have a certain goofball charm.
Sure.
Fucking.
They're cheap and they're shitty.
Jimbo
we appreciate
and Ned, that kind of shit, where you're just well, that's... Then when it's every episode is just Butters, or some characters that they invented for one... And you're I just don't give a shit.
Well, and it's... Well, and then... so it's a classic, it's a smart show for... Or it's a dumb show for smart people, or whatever the fucking argument is. It's not. It's a dumb show. Dumb show for dumb people. In my opinion, okay? Come on. It's just my opinion, folks. Don't get mad at me. They killed Kenny. Remember they killed... So, that was the other thing. They kill a little kid every episode. Hilarious.
Yeah.
It seemed funny when we were kids. Now I'm that's kind of weird.
It's weird,
It's kind of a weird thing to do. Anyways. Fucking Big Gay Al. Mark throws another ladder at Rhett on the floor. Which is so funny. They throw a chair at him later too, and that's how they keep cutting Rhett off. It's about time for the logically speaking, even though he's covered in blood, this is when the partner should come in and come to the rescue, right? Well, let's throw a ladder at him. It's great. Tag team wrestling. the crowd now shifts the chant from make him bleed, make Kenny bleed, you killed Kenny, to just bleed, 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 bleed. They are chanting at Kenny King to pull out a fucking razor blade. and God bless him. The Briscoes feel like they're trying to hardway him at a certain point.
They really do. They're like, Kenny, man, you gotta do something.
You gotta do something. Listen to the crowd, Kenny.
We'll just pop you on the eyebrow.
Just
pop
listen
you on
to
the eyebrow. It won't be that bad.
Put your face up, and I'm gonna fucking put my foot in it. Mark drop kicks a chair into his head. They throw chairs at him like 10 times.
They hit him with so many Sabu shots.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And he'll put his hands up a little bit, but it looked like, I don't know.
He bumps huge.
He bumps
That is
huge.
the thing that, like,
He does.
He is not trying this match. He is trying. He just doesn't want to bleed.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's bumping like 5 feet off of, like, into the fucking barriers into, like, small, like, relatively small shots.
Yeah,
and it looks fucking crazy.
He jumps into everything. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. It's not a bad, I mean, it's a good performance. I was going to say not a bad, it's a good performance. But still, he should have fucking cut himself.
He should have given them the cherry.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, we're not even all the way there yet, because this progresses even further. All right, Rhett tries to come to the rescue, gets dumped again. Mark gives him a cactus elbow drop, just casually. Mark just gets back in the ring, and gives Kenny 2 shoot headbutts. Like, seriously. For real, like...
No, straight up. Straight up, no.
Hashi. Like, Makoto Hashi, fucking straight up. And then on one of those, Kenny, like, spits out this huge, disgusting string of fucking, mucus or bile or whatever the hell. Another chair throw or two, and it really feels like they're trying to make this happen, whether he wants it or not. They go for a spike J driller, but Rhett comes to the rescue, pushes Mark off the top, who, as Mark Briscoe likes to do, takes an enormous flipping bump all the way to the table, awaiting his body on the floor.
Looks fantastic.
Table basically explodes. Like, it looked like the truck in fucking Sorcerer or something. Like, it's just fucking a billion pieces. Someone yells, someone yells, Kenny, are you bleeding yet? As they take over, and he's shook by this, and he turns.
It's like the genuine, like, New York crowd.
Oh yeah, they were in the Manhattan Center too.
You gotta give it to him.
Yeah.
In terms of just, like, representing, like, the thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, GLF is laughing, for sure.
living the gimmick.
Yeah. Kenny is, to be fair, he gets a little shook by this, and he yells in something about how, like, Superman don't bleed or something. Which I was like, dude, just don't acknowledge it. You just don't.
Just let it go.
And then they hit an awesome spot. Rhett manages to get Jay up for a powerbomb, barely, because he has lost a ton of blood.
Yeah.
Kenny, on the apron, springboards up, flips over. It's a blockbuster powerbomb combo through the table. Now, granted, Kenny took most of the table.
He took a ton of it. He fucking dies on this. But it's the turbo version of the spot we just saw them do.
Yeah.
The Briscoes do in the solo match. It's very funny, and it's a crazy
The
spot.
turbo version, yeah, it absolutely is. And, from a different camera angle, I wouldn't have been able to tell that Kenny broke the table with his ass, so,
The camera work in this is weird. We get, like, that shot from, like, maybe the second balcony where you can see Kevin Kelly's bald spot and all its glory. It's very fucking...
I missed that!
Shot. Oh, no, he looks like Friar fucking Tuck. Prazak has a great head of hair, obviously.
Oh, of course. God, if you send me anybody out there, if you happen to watch this and you catch that moment, send me a screenshot of Kevin Kelly's bald spot in 2011, because he's still combing that shit over to this day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I assume he's no longer on TV because he went fucking nuts, but. Kenny, are you bleeding yet? So apparently there is a contract hanging above the ring, but no one has even tried to set up a ladder.
This is a street fight that happens to also be a retrieval ladder match.
And I'm fine with it.
Great. That's fucking, I'm happy.
It feels like a blood feud, despite me not knowing anything, any build. There's no video, there's no promo I saw. But from the second the match starts, I get, like, the Briscoes want to kill them, and those two guys are just going to pathetically try to fight back with moves with a Z,
Yeah, these, like, two, like, fucking, like, doofus Midnight Express wannabe types.
Yeah.
But they always...
it's a Midnight Express reference. Somehow I didn't get that.
Yeah, like, Like they're here to fuck,
All
and they're
night
just
express.
like these two like pseudo gigolo types, basically.
You imagine if Robert Gibson was a black guy? Crazy. I'm picturing it now. The fucked up eye. Actually, I knew a guy like that. I think I knew Black Robert Gibson.
The thing is, like, I mean, the All Night Express always hooked phenomenally with the Briscoes on like TV matches and stuff. I think this.
I'm not
I
surprised.
wanted to do this for like two reasons. One, I like that. I just like that pairing. But it is driving home like how good the Briscoes were with getting to work, like outworking the doofiest tag teams that they could find, and in this promotion, like the Kingdom, the Taven and Bennett.
Yeah.
They work great with Taven and Bennett. They always worked well with those guys.
Now, was Taven a blood freak back then? Because he's really impressed me.
I don't really think so. I've seen Bennett bleed to they would get their asses beat though. They would take a lot of bumps.
I think I might have underrated them a little bit.
I always enjoyed them. I always enjoyed that act.
Yeah, and Maria's like speaking out and shit, which is cool. You know, when a lot of people are still staying quiet.
Yeah, I always had a decent amount of time for them, like doing corny heel shtick and like I don't know. Like,
I like that other guy, Vincent.
Horror King. The Horror King is very funny.
You probably won't be able to tell, but if you watch the Ring of Honor that was taped in Peoria, I'm snapping the whole time. I'm trying to start a snap chant, and nobody gave a shit. But they teamed with Lance Archer, and they were over. I don't know. That's a good act. Dutch and Vincent. I think they. What do they call?
Oh yeah, the Righteous.
The Righteous. Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously he's great.
And Vincent's like a
random
deathmatch guy
match
too.
that we got to remember to throw on an episode. The only thing worth redeeming from the Joey Ryan's Penis Party WrestleCon show is a very nasty death match between fucking Bill Carr and Dan Barry.
I don't think I ever saw that.
Oh, it's really bloody. It's a lot of fun.
I like Dutch, and I like Dan Barry too. I think they're.
I like that team. I like them, and that's a really.
What was the team? What was their name?
Team Tremendous, right?
Team Tremendous. Oh, that's right. It was kind of silly.
There's also Tracy Smothers getting actually pissing off a girl really bad in the crowd who throws a streamer right at his face, and she has like a hand tattoo. She's a really hot girl. Somehow,
what a funny thing to remember.
Party was bringing him out. Him out.
What year is that?
But that was 2019,
19?
I think, because that was in conjunction with the second WrestleMania at the Meadowlands.
Sure, okay. And that's
So
right
I'm pretty
before
sure that's
everybody...
right, yeah.
That's right before, like, Me Too happens, right? Or that's like the summer of 2019?
That's 2020. That was because of the pandemic, and like nobody...
Oh, because suddenly we all had to confront ourselves.
There's no Brit Rest shows. So let's just talk about how all the Brit Rest guys have raped.
Yeah, good. Robbo cleared of charges.
This is what I've been told.
I've heard
I am not the one acting like this is just normal. It's just what I have been told.
Yeah. Not sure what the charges were.
But Rest themselves.
Yeah, no. So they continue to chant, bleed, bleed, bleed. And then, let's see, there's the contract that's hanging up there. There is one ladder that's left climbable, like as the commentators mention, that the ladders are all busted up. There's one left. Rhett Titus grabs it, and it's got streamers hanging off of it. And I swear, Rhett's doing this on purpose. He's a genius. Good wrestler. His selling is so exciting. Like, he's legitimately, maybe he's just dying in front of us, but I believe it.
It's just delirium, yeah.
Yeah, he's nailing it. He climbs halfway up the ladder. Mark drop kicks the ladder. Rhett bumps off. Mark picks up the ladder and puts it on his head, spins around, and the Terry Funk chant happens, which I think is good. I mean, obviously, like, I think
we're extremely pro Terry Funk podcast. I don't know if that's ever come across.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
We're very subtle about it.
Yeah. I think it's good to proclaim one guy as the best wrestler of all time, and for both of us to agree on it, and then accept no argument.
Just shamelessly promote this man as the greatest to ever walk the face of the earth.
I think we've been saying it for years, but I think the tide has turned in our favor more and more.
I think so too.
Although I heard that, Will Ospreay is the best at 31 that any 31 has ever been.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, whatever. And I like that the spinning with the ladder in your head is like a legacy thing. That's
like Mr. Iguana doing it, you get like it's Terry Funk move.
Yeah.
It's Funk style.
Fucking Cody, like after Terry Funk died, Cody did it on SmackDown. Like,
hell yeah.
You know, it's great.
Actually, you know what? From the Joey Ryan penis party, David Arquette versus Timothy Thatcher isn't bad.
Oh my god. What is that match? Does he do holds?
He's kind of doing some holds. He's trying.
I literally cannot picture that. That's like... And Thatcher got signed by WWE like right after that. A weird thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Jay pulls out the massive orange ladder, which is one of the staples of the era, of course.
Oh, I'm so fucking happy to see the massive orange ladder.
It's like seeing it's like, you know, Leo pointing at the fucking TV. You're just like, oh, there's the ladder.
Yeah, the disgusting fiberglass ladder.
It's so cool. And then they set up the ladder on the floor, which it's basically 5 feet higher than even the top turnbuckle is.
Oh, yeah, that is the biggest ladder there by far.
And I think, what is it? Kevin Kelly mentions that it's eye level with the balcony, which is, he's not wrong, but I was just like, wow, why don't you just jump off the balcony then? Fuck. Yeah. And then...
It's not a balcony war match, let it be said.
To be fair, not a balcony war match. Yeah. It's a really good point, actually. The ANX try to fight him off. Kenny's trying to fight back. And then this is where, if you listen closely enough, you can hear a fan shout loud enough that it's picked up clean.
Yeah.
You can't even blade, you piece of shit! I couldn't believe it.
Oh, yeah.
To have the balls to even say that. To say the B word, like, as a heckle.
I've told you before about the dude coined by friend of the show, Funky Ass Dice Game, Chris. Batteries not required. This dude who's like got an electric wheelchair who like shows up to almost every show at the 2300 Arena, who heckles the absolute living fuck out of Kenny King. And he loves Kenny King. He's like, yeah, Kenny King's my friend, man. But he's this like 97-year-old fucking Vietnam vet type who just we saw him go off on Jordan Oliver at the MLW taping we went to 4 years ago.
I
and
can
that
see
was
heckling
phenomenal.
him. That makes sense.
It was like, yeah, that's a classic. Like Kenny King is the perfect guy because it's like he's like a tall, handsome man.
Sure.
He'll live.
You can't even fucking blade, you piece of shit. I just couldn't believe it.
There is a ton of audacity to be like that straightforward.
Like, think about all the people around that guy who yelled that, who turned and looked at him.
Yeah.
Stronger man than I'll say. Mark climbs the huge fucking ladder, and it is literally balcony height of the Manhattan Center, and he leaps off the top of this huge ladder with a splash onto Rhett through a table, who's in the entryway. And then they're going to be out of commission for the rest of the match. There's not a whole lot of match left. Kenny hits a really lovely shooting star, gets the huge ladder, and climbs up. And there's a man-up chant. And then Jay climbs. They punch it out high atop the ladder. Kenny somehow wins this punch-out despite having much worse punches.
Much worse. Having worse punches than Jay Briscoe was not
sure.
Nothing to be ashamed of, but he does have worse punches.
Yeah, they're not great.
Easily.
But Jay is a giving wrestler, and always was. And he falls. Kenny yanks down the contract and falls down like Razor at Mania 10, which I respect, of course, because that's the only way to finish a ladder match is to pull the thing and fall immediately.
Yeah.
like a No Mercy or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? The video game.
That's the only ladder climbing for the fucking
for the entire
object.
match. Yeah,
which is
except
great.
for Rhett goes for it once and they get drop kicked. But that's
basically this is a street fight where you just win by grabbing the thing. It's like it's one of the minimalist is not the word for this match.
Rawest.
Raw. This is one of the least pure ladder match ideas of all time. This is a fucking fight. And then, one of us is going to have to climb that ladder and get that fucking thing.
Eventually we'll get to the point where we'll be satisfied with the match being over. We've beat you up enough, and now I'm going to go do the thing. And I'm also going to be the winner, as well as being the guy who beat your ass. Kenny... Alright, so after the match, Oh, I hated this.
Yeah.
Kenny rubs his hand on Jay Briscoe's bloody head to get some blood on his fingers, and then signs ANX on the outside of the manila envelope. Which, all right, I've got a few notes about this.
Well, I mean, I don't know if signing ANX would have been a legal move.
Sure. All right. First of all, that's fair. You're right about that. But also, it's not the contract, it's the envelope. But also, my man, if you just pulled that fucking blade out, cut yourself a little bit, you could have done it with your own blood. Which is by the way,
harder move.
But also, when signing a contract in blood, it's supposed to be your own blood. That's the idea.
Yeah.
That's what the metaphor is. You sign it in your own blood. You use somebody else's blood, you might as well use a pen. Fucking idiot. What's the line? I put it in the group chat, but they were talking about the I was watching the Dark Side of the Ring about Black Saturday.
Yeah.
And they were talking about Oli making all of the Georgia Championship Wrestling shareholders or whatever they were, the board or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of guys in a room smoking cigars, I imagine, actually. But he said that let's see here. He said in response, Jay Briscoe said this in response to Oli wanting everyone to sign in blood or do like a handshake, a blood oath handshake. He said, "I don't need those little gimmicks to certify my honesty." I don't need those little gimmicks to certify my honesty.
That's a fantastic.
Holy shit! What a guy! Jay Briscoe regained all.
That's Tommy Lee Jones shit.
Right? No, yeah. That's Cormac McCarthy words for sure. Right? Like fucking A.
That's Deadwood dialogue.
It's Deadwood. Yeah, it's David Milch is what it is. Good. Yeah, good shout. Okay, main event time.
Main event time.
Oh, I want to say Rhett Titus good, Kenny King bad. Just saying. I know that's diminutive, but whatever. Fight me on this. Go ahead, somebody. Main event time. You do it. I gotta.
From Ring of Honor, Tony Khan's second Little League Fed. It's December 10th, 2022. Final battle. We have the Briscoes, Jay and Mark, versus FTR, Dax, Bald Harwood, and Cash, other guy, Wheeler.
Hair. Bald and hair.
Bald and hair.
I kept writing it down because I couldn't remember, what is it, Dash? Is it Dash or is it Dax? And I was like, wait, Dash is Cash, and Dax is...
Yeah, because he used to be Dash, and then Scott Dawson had like a normal name. And then he got an extremely stupid name.
I forgot his name was Scott. I couldn't remember.
That's like one of the most normal names in the history of NXT.
Scott Dawson. That's true. It's a lot better than Brindley Reese. Who, by the way, I said it on another podcast last night. I got to say it again. They took a beautiful Italian-American woman named Brianna Ruggiero and renamed her Brindley Reese. The fuck kind of...
That's like...
We whitewashed a white woman here. We fucking did it.
For they were doing pretty okay when they had, like, all of the Italian girls in, like 2017, like Liv Morgan, fucking
sure.
Sonya Deville. Those are nice names.
Sure,
those are tasteful names.
Nikki Cross.
Fucking, at this point, just fucking, there's some insane NXT names right now.
It's really gotten out of hand all over again. It's funny after a period of also just letting people use their names that they came in with. Also,
yeah,
hilarious.
Names that aren't even necessary, but they just don't work. Like Eddie Thorpe. That's a terrible name.
Wait, who's Eddie Thorpe?
That is the former Carl Fredericks.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because he went with Thorpe because he's indigenous, so he was referencing Jim Thorpe. Sure, great. But Eddie Thorpe, and it's spelled Eddie like Eddie Guerrero did when he was...
Oh, EDDY?
Yeah, and it just looks bad.
That's brutal. That sucks.
Cale Dixon? That's a terrible name.
That's a salad. My man, you got a name of a salad. All right, yeah.
Do we want to talk about the fucking Lucky Ali name or no?
Oh,
I can't even remember it. It's so bad.
It's Saquon. It's Saquon something.
Saquon Sugars?
Saquon Sugars.
This is one of the worst names I've ever seen in my life.
Oh man! All right, Emily and Jack are on the way home, so we got 20 minutes before the kids start running.
20 minutes in hell, ring the fucking bell.
20 minutes in hell, ring the fucking bell. I'm not gonna play this video message because whatever. All right. We got Briscoes versus FTR, but we're not gonna do this in 20 minutes, so we're just gonna have to deal with there being background noise and me saying hello for a moment, and I'll get my son to say "Death to America" if I can. I'm not gonna do that. I'll get him to say "Free Palestine." That's good.
Yeah.
It's the Briscoes versus FTR. It's a double dog collar match. It's not the last match Jay Briscoe ever wrestled before he died, but it is one of the last. Second to last?
It might be the penultimate match. It's the last match that was nationally televised.
Sure, okay. And it's the last time he probably bled all over the fucking place, right?
Yeah.
So the opening video of this kind of paints Bald and Hair as being big babies, and the Briscoes as the baddest motherfuckers alive. They come out in the big black trench coats, and now, we've jumped ahead 11 years now. But this is two guys with like a lot of gray in their beards. They look fucking great. Jay's late era fucking dreads.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what a look.
Yeah, he looks like they look like a Maquis, like a fucking. They have like a Southern Comfort vibe. This is like them at their most like inexplicably Delaware Cajun.
Yeah. Straight out of a Walter Hill film. Yeah, they're awesome. They look incredible. There's a sign in the crowd that says Dax plus dog collar equals fantasy. Now, first of all, why show that sign on camera? But also, there's just something so off-putting about FTR, and I'm not talking about them being like huge marks for themselves and for wrestling or whatever, all the reasons, but there's something so disgusting about them. They look like they smell bad. They look like they're like, and I guess Cash flashing his gun out the window of a moving car at somebody in traffic has proven this true. Right? But these are just some Florida guys. They're just trashy fucking losers. They're like the kind of guys who count how many beers they drank so they can tell you tomorrow how many beers they drank yesterday. Or they're just the biggest fucking losers on the planet. They're both good wrestlers, don't get me wrong. But what a couple of fucking marks. And stinky. And they look stinky, and I can't imagine wanting to fuck one of them. I gotta be honest. And Cash is cute, but obviously, Dax is disgusting looking. I'm sorry. That guy looks awful.
Him doing his, Slade faces.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's a guy who is, like...
He fantasizes about being in prison.
On Twitter either, too, so it's just like, but I'm stoic in the ring. No, fuck that, man. Be a loud hick.
Yeah. He's an embarrassment. Absolutely. So I can't get down with that. Kevin Kelly says that FTR are better wrestlers. He's like capital W wrestlers, he means, as in they could take to the mat better. What are you talking about, dude? Have you ever watched the fucking Briscoes? These guys have they are 3-tool players or whatever the fucking term is, No. Fuck you, Kevin Kelly. You have a gross misunderstanding of the product that you're supposed to be presenting. Like, how is that? How I'm supposed to believe that? That FTR are better wrestlers? Come on. What fucking year is it, also? Why is this even a narrative? And also, later in the match, when these guys are all brutalizing each other, the crowd who is all collectively smarter than Kevin Kelly, chants "This is wrestling." Because wrestling isn't about getting on the fucking ground and wrestling. It's about fucking punching and kicking and hitting each other with chains and bleeding all over the place. So, Kevin Kelly, once again, you suck. You're the worst. You're the fucking worst ever. Michael Cole level dog shit commentator. So anyways, fuck him. Big brawl to start. We're immediately in the mode of, the tethered classic where, one of us is going to go out through the ropes, then I have to go through the same ropes, or else this whole match is fucked. Split screen, which we talked about it on the first episode. That, what is it, Justice Payne and Johnny Kashmere versus Mondo and Kasai?
Yeah.
like, there's a whole other match happening that we didn't even see because there's only one camera following one group of 2 guys fighting, right?
Yeah.
I kind of wish we didn't have a split screen in this because I'm focusing on one side or the other, and it's really just making me be distracted from the stuff I actually want to watch, you know?
Yeah, I think maybe just like going with quick cuts might have been the better call.
Yeah. I mean, we can get most of it, you know? Bald throws a chair at Jay's head. Mark is bleeding already. Hair is choking Mark with the chain. I did write just Bald and Hair for most of those because I couldn't remember Dax and Cat. It's a hard time. I have a hard time. Jay and Dax brawl up into the crowd. Dax throws a drink in Jay's face. Cash and Mark are up on the stage, which has stairs like leading to the top of the stage instead of a ramp. And the chain is like running across each step and going gink, 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 and it sounds awesome. It's a great noise. Mm-hmm. Chain feels heavy.
Yeah.
Like they keep referencing Piper Valentine, right?
Cow chain.
But I don't know if this is quite a cow chain. But
I don't know if it's a cow chain. Either, yeah.
It's closer than some other ones that we've covered in the many dog collar matches we've covered in the show. Mark does a flipping plunge off the stage. We've got a kneeling slap battle in the entryway between Mark and Hair, while Bald and Jay are in the ring. Bald Germans Jay in the ring, and then sticks his fingers in his own mouth, and Caprice claims that Dax has just lost a tooth. Now, I had heard about this, that he lost a tooth in this match. But then I was like, oh, he lost a tooth on his own move? Come on, Bald.
Yeah, I don't know if the time, or maybe just adrenaline or something, like made him like not think about it for like 20 seconds. Who could say?
I don't know. It was a weird thing, and they leaned into it too. They talked about it again later in the match. Mark grabs Dax behind the back, and Jay gives him a couple really hard punches to the forehead and the bridge of the nose with the chain wrapped around. There's a Dim Boys, Top Guys dueling chant, and I just hate Top Guys. I hate Top Guys. I hate Top Guys out. I think it's just so pathetic. I do think they're good wrestlers. I think
but you hate the presentation.
They're just so fucking lame. I don't know. You know, Bret Hart was, pushed this sort of thing up to its very edge of like pretentious, self-serving, conceited. You know, my image is everything. But it was Bret Hart. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was a child at the time or what. But
maybe it's just. I don't want to see like White Mike call himself the best in the game or whatever.
yeah. White Mike is
a little too close to White Mike for this.
Yeah. White Mike knows exactly who he is and who he's supposed to be, and that's why White Mike is one of the greatest of all time. Not because he tells you he's the greatest of all time. But I'm just saying, I'm glad that there weren't any dueling chants at Starrcade '83 because that might have fucking ruined things.
Yeah,
you know? The whole ball game. The chains come into play nicely here. Jay gets yanked by the chain into a chair propped in the corner. Then Mark runs towards him to help. Cash yanks the chain so it's Cash and Mark, and then Dax and Jay are attached. But this is a dog collar match. I don't know if we said.
Yeah.
Yanks him down, forcing him to violently back bump. And then Dax yanks Jay into the post on the floor, and Jay is just covered in blood. Like, so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Cash hits the chain-wrapped Doomsday Device for 2, and then this is where they chant, "This is wrestling." And I was like, yeah, this is great. This is like, that's such an interesting chant for them to choose now, when no one's grappling. Because usually "This is wrestling" is like, cringy.
This is wrestling is supposed to signify that this is like a pure contest, not that shit you'd see in WWE or whatever.
Yeah, this is wrestling, and we're smart enough to recognize that. No, this is a great use of that chant. I loved it. Mark gets Cash in a gory special, which has been in every match that we've done tonight somehow.
Yeah.
He's got him in a gory special, and wraps the chain around Mark's neck to choke him. So, hurt in the back, also choking him out. And then Dax walks up, gets a length of his own chain, whips Mark in the gut with it, which sucks, but also the chain wraps around and slaps his own partner's, right elbow. And you can tell the way Cash immediately grabs his elbow, that sucked for him. That's going to be a horrible bruise.
Oh, yeah. Getting hit in the elbow was always the worst.
Oh yeah, and like the tricep or whatever, like it bruises up really bad. You know, it's a meaty part of the body. Let's see here. Mark gets sent over the top, as he loves to do. Cash is choking him with the collar, pulling him dirty white boy style. And then Jay reverses an Irish whip, sending Dax into the chain that connects Cash and Mark, breaking the choke, which I thought was a cool spot. Jay's covered. Like, it's a classic Jay Briscoe blade job.
Full shedding, yeah.
It looks like the Samoa Joe match. Honestly, it's wonderful. And the match is wonderful, too. Jay hits a neck breaker on Cash. Mark hits the froggy bow with the chain wrapped around his arm for 2. Then Cash blades after that. And Dax does, too, right? They're both...
Yeah.
Maybe they use the same blade. Maybe they... What if they pass the razor? That'd be cool. I would respect them for that, actually.
Yeah. Touch a stranger's blood.
Yeah, touch a stranger's blood. Caprice says he's got blood on his notes, which is cool. Mark is on the floor with Cash, and he grabs like a half dozen chairs from under the ring, and the crowd chants my least favorite chant, which is "We want tables."
It's the worst chant in the history of wrestling. It's worse than dueling chants. It's worse than it. I think it is the worst chant. Because
you're either forcing the hand, or you're anticipating something that's going to happen later, or you're doing it and you're going to be left without the payoff.
Yeah, and it's also like, even if people are enjoying the match, it indicates that they want something else from the match than what's happened.
Yes,
Tables are a distinct thing. It's like, you don't fucking... Like, what about this match so far calls for a table?
Yeah, that's an escalation that doesn't even make sense in this context also. And it's also Pavlovian, where it's clearly like, oh, there's chairs? Well, how about let's have a table too, you know? And so this is brilliant though, because Mark then grabs the timekeeper's table, rips the tablecloth off of it, sets it up. They're not going to end up using this table, right? They don't break this table.
They don't break the table. So,
I don't know, was it planned? Because he deliberately bumps over it later in a minute. I don't know. It was just, I thought it was really brilliant.
Yeah, sometimes that's like the idea of introducing the thing and then not check-offing it.
Yeah, the check-off
table. It's just that, it's like, that sometimes makes the match seem more chaotic.
Yeah.
Like.
Organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's all these chairs on the ground that Mark pulled out. Cash attempts to suplex Mark onto the pile of chairs that Mark himself pulled out. But Mark reverses, suplexes him on the floor. Caprice says that he could feel the ground beneath his feet tremble. I think Caprice is really good as a commentator.
I like Caprice a lot.
I don't know if I've ever really had much of an opinion on him as a commentator, but I think he's great in this one. And I'm going to be looking out for him. And
I like Riccoboni. I don't know.
Riccoboni's the man. I've said that before too. I like him. He doesn't stand out a whole lot in this one, but in fact, I didn't even realize he was there until like halfway through.
Yeah.
Let's see here. In the ring, Bald tries for way too long to wrap the chain around his big, stupid, bald fucking head. This is the worst spot
in the match. This is the only thing that I would actually say is bad.
Yeah.
It's funny, and it has a weird sense of sincerity, but I don't know that's what I'm aiming for. I understand, man, he's trying something, but it doesn't work. It's not gonna, just go for the fist drop.
Yeah, just wrap it around your fist and do a fist drop. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That would be a great cover-up. And something that he should have thought of as a super smart professional wrestler. He should have had a fucking backup plan. He didn't. So instead, he just holds... he's trying to wrap the chain around his head. This goes on for like 15 seconds. Seriously. It's excruciating. And we're on a tight shot of him. We're like close up and just watching
Do you see the font when they cut to the one fucking guy in the crowd? Who's like just making this like face? That's so bad.
I didn't notice the guy.
I feel so bad for this dummy because it's just like he's trying, but it's just like no, man, you just gotta let it go. You just gotta let it fucking go.
And then what he does is he basically just gathers a bunch of chain in front of his head and falls. And it doesn't look great. It doesn't look bad either. It's fine, but it
could have been so much more.
Yeah.
If he had
just the fist drop. You're right. The fist drop would have been a great backup move. Mm-hmm. And then he gets up and he does a serious face also, like right at the camera. God.
The way they can, like, I think a lot about the original, like, FTR, on the pre-revival, when they were the Mechanics, and they had, like, a gimmick where they were kind of just hicks, and Alexa Bliss was with them for a period.
Oh, sure. God, I forget that
and
happened.
she was like a hick, and there's a line he has that, I was reminded of by my roommate years ago that I always think about all the time, where she asks him to get her a teacup pig, and he goes, "A teacup pig? I want him to be a hick. He's a hick. That's fun.
Yeah.
Being hicks is cool." You know who spent 25 years being hicks?
The Briscoes.
These two fucking guys. They're not even from the South.
Yeah.
They just have accents.
Yeah.
You guys are from fucking North Carolina.
Fucking trash. They are trash people who are trying to pretend
They
like they're
just
smarter.
want it so bad, and it's
embarrassing.
I get it, but it's like, just let it. You'll be happier if you let it go.
Yeah, you will be happier. Yeah, you want Cash? You want to stick a gun out the fucking window? Then let's lean into the rest of that personality. All right, dog.
Yeah.
Stop pretending on TV.
Wrestling needs more. To quote Phil Schneider from an episode of the Way the Blade podcast, wrestling needs more pieces of shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Just be pieces of shit. It's cool, man.
Be true to yourself. Be sincere. Yeah.
Yeah, they're being sincere, but in the wrong way.
Yeah, they're being
like
too sincere. Yeah, they've gone too far in the other direction. Sincerity also a spectrum. Dax delivers some chain wrapped shots on Jay, and then referee Mike Posey is sort of trying to like check the cut, and Dax is getting pissed off, right? So Mike keeps leaning in, and then does Jay yank Mike Posey in front of him, or does
I think, yeah.
So Jay yanks referee Mike Posey in front of one of the punches. Chain wrapped right hand to the dome, and referee Mike Posey has bladed here at Final Battle.
We got ourselves a quintuple blade job.
Quintuple. My God, quintuple. When has that happened? Outside of a Zona 23, multi-man or whatever. I mean,
Mike Posey is the real one back from Wildside and Anarchy days. Like, this is a guy who's like, this guy got to blade on pay-per-view? The biggest show?
So
here?
Cool. I didn't really know him. Caprice mentions that he wrestled and that he knew him for a long time and he wrestled all over the country. But that's so cool. That's so great. And Caprice says he can smell the iron, Caprice is saying all the right stuff. He's saying all the right things. Back suplex from Jay. The crowd applauds. They take referee Mike Posey away as he's bladed so good that it's making Cash Wheeler look bad. Like he bladed better than two of the wrestlers in the match. Exchange on the apron between Cash and Mark ends with a back suplex on the apron and also the chain, which is brutal. Wheeler places Mark on the table, goes to the buckle. Mark gets up, cuts him off. Mark goes in and delivers his signature through the ropes flying drop kick before placing Cash on the table. Mark goes up to the top. He's going to do the elbow or something off the top of the table. But in the ring, Jay has FTR balled on his shoulders and is calling his attention over for a Doomsday Device. This distracts Mark, gives Cash enough time to get up, climb in the apron, and yank the chain. And he yanks the chain. We just saw Mark do a flip off the top through a table, right?
Yeah.
No, he's going over. He doesn't bump through the table. He flies over the table into just a pile of chairs. Not a chair platform, not a Danny DeMonto, like this is like a straight up just a bunch of shit.
A floor of chairs.
A floor of chairs, yeah. And it's awesome. And that was probably my biggest pop of the match because I expected him to go through the table. And he didn't. He did a far worse thing. God bless him. Yeah. God, we're all right. So it's a shocking bump. It's like a swerve, They swerved me, Sean.
They swerved me, Sean.
Jay Driller inside gets Dax. Jay Driller on Dax gets a 2.9. Jay kind of leaned back a little bit on it, so the full impact didn't really happen. Caprice says he's worried about his 4 friends that call him on his birthday. Like he's again saying all the right things. Jay says Jay's eye is like swollen shut or covered in blood or something, and then Caprice says that it might be that Jay's eyelid is cut down. Which is a crazy sentence. And then Kevin Kelly, to his credit, says the magic word, coagulating. You love to hear it. Dax manages to get a kick to the nuts on Jay, and I really like that we just escalated to all right, we're just hitting each other in the balls now. All right, fuck it.
He is doing some lucha. He's doing some lucha in this match.
Yeah.
He's hitting people in the nuts. He's throwing beers.
It's not a bad performance. Just, you know.
He misses the forest for the trees.
Yeah, perhaps.
I feel like.
Perhaps. He was in the ballpark.
But he has, like, natural ability, like a motherfucker.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they're both good wrestlers. They trip over themselves.
Yeah.
He kicks him in the nuts, hits a pile driver on the chair. This is a weird thing where he rolls and his feet are sort of over Jay's shoulders, which I guess counts as a pinfall.
It's because I think it's the idea that, like, he was wrapped in the chain, so he was trying to, like, and he just, like, it's a little weird.
I don't like it. I think you got to put at least a hand over him. I don't care for that. Then Cash says, "Fucking murder him," which is a little goofy, honestly. But I guess not from a guy who routinely sticks a gun out of a window and points it at other drivers. So I guess maybe he should have done that. That would have been the next match they have with the Briscoes if Jay hadn't died. A gun match. He starts throwing the chairs in one by one. After that, Capri says, "Excuse me," and Riccaboni's like, "I'm not going to repeat that." Excuse me. Dax sits Jay on the top, starts chopping him, and every chop is also hitting the chain, which is cool. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And Caprice says every time he chops him, more blood flies into the audience. Again, Caprice knows exactly what to dial in on. Dax climbs, goes for a top rope super pile driver, a la Nick Gage almost, but from the top. And Jay slips through, and this is an incredible moment. He slips through, yanks the chain through the legs, and you can literally see Dax's balls and his trunks getting, like, separated, like, slapped super hard by the chain. Incredible. Jay then manages to superplex Dax from the top onto the pile of steel chairs. And there's a long delay before he can make the cover. So it's a 2 count. Logical 2 count because it took him so long to make the cover at all. And then he grabs his crossface with the chain inside Dax's mouth. It's the same finish as Ricky Stark's Bryan Danielson, but with a chain and a worse camera angle, obviously.
It's a worse camera angle.
It was a bummer.
They're reaching for the idea because they want to show, like,
Cash.
Yeah. I understand, but you want to go for the mouth.
Yeah, Cash is trying to get in and break it. Mark's yanking him, holding him in place long enough to force Dax to pass out, but we don't actually see a close-up of bloody FTR bald with a big cow chain in his mouth and apparently a busted tooth. And then second referee calls for the bell, and it's a fucking goddamn great match.
It's a great match.
There's plenty to, talk shit about, obviously, but we'll find any flaws as we often do, but
we're here to be critical, not to just praise.
That's right. We're like Pauline Kael.
Yeah.
It was a great match. And it's
a great match.
A wonderful testament to the career of Jay Briscoe and to Mark as well. And I think we should next May do another fucking Briscoes episode.
Absolutely. Let's
focus on some Mark
tags.
We can do 6-man tags. We can have a couple Mark singles too,
Yeah. We love the damn Briscoes. We love them. When was the first time you saw the Briscoes?
I mean, it would have been the Ring of Honor, first Ring of Honor show, probably.
Yes.
Which had Jay and not Mark, and is that Jay versus Red or something? Who does Jay wrestle on that show? We're looking it up. Is that called the Round Robin? No, that's not the Era of Honor begins.
Era of Honor, yeah.
All right, let's see here. Jay Briscoe versus Amazing Red. First time I ever saw him.
First time I saw the Briscoes, I would have been 9 on WGTW 48, fucking fake UTV.
Sure.
Maybe I want to say it was fucking. I'm not 100% sure. It might have been from Smyrna. I want to say it was
the Hate Club.
Yeah, it might have been that.
Yeah.
It might have...
it's a good match. Great team. 2 great guys. I don't know. It's weird. As we get further away from it, it feels like, Mark's sort of become more and more like a tribute act. He does the J Driller now,
Yeah.
But Mark's still his own guy, and they weren't 2 halves of a whole. They were 2 wholes who came together,
Yeah.
And I think Mark's doing good. I don't know if, Ring of Honor I mean, they've got a TV champion and no TV. Like, it's like a weird. it's
two TV champions.
They got two. Yeah, they got Jesus Christ. They got two now. They are a pretend wrestling promotion, obviously, but that's okay. Mark is on TV all the time, and I saw Mark, Edge, and Eddie against Top Flight and Action Andretti live at the Peoria Collision.
Hell yeah!
And I'll tell you what, Top Flight sucks. Action Andretti even worse, but Edge looked good. And Eddie is a god. Mark Briscoe, though, is fully electric. From the second level bowl, you can feel his energy. Still a great guy.
So good. He's just like the most sincere fucking figure in wrestling, basically.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, it's very sad. We'll be mourning the loss of Jay Briscoe forever. But I'm glad that we still have Mark, and I'm glad that he's got a place where he can stand tall. He
could be a world champ. He is a world champ, man.
He fucking reached for the sky. He fucking did it.
This guy, boy.
So
he won that shit in Philly too, man.
That's cool. That is also cool. You're right. It's so funny that Ring of Honor ran, but then CZW ran in the Murphy Rec Center. That's
I know because Ring of Honor ran like a fucking basketball arena.
Yeah,
they ran where Temple plays.
Yeah. Funny.
So
what a life we've been witness to here, and that's it. That's the show. Good one, right?
It's a fucking great episode. Yeah.
So if they're easy guys to talk about, and they're contemporaries and people we can shit on, people we can celebrate. It's good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us at Touching Blood on the X app on Twitter, at fucking Wrestling is Gross, Blue Sky, which is going to get DMs and videos soon. I got an email that they're going to be turning it into a real website soon, so maybe we'll post there occasionally.
Yeah.
Instagram, Wrestling is Gross, Touching Blood on TikTok. Send us an email, wrestlingisgross@gmail.com. That's my favorite. Send us an email. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be short. It could be right in the middle. It could be nothing. It could be an image. Send us an image. Send me a picture of John Hawking bleeding.
Yeah.
One of my favorite emails I ever got was just an email that had a picture of John Hawking bleeding, and the text just said, John Hawking, John Hawking, John Hawking, John Hawking. I don't remember.
My man, John Hawking.
I don't remember who sent that, but if you're listening, God bless you, and I think about you all the time.
Leave us a review on Spotify. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
That's right.
Tunes. I don't know what it's called.
Me neither. It's out there, though, and a lot of people use it. We're on YouTube, although we've been demonetized, I think, because of adult content, because it's the same account that I posted Yard Call to. But that's okay. We were never going to try to make money off of that anyway, so fuck it, right?
I think you got to get 1,000 subscribers or some shit to get money anyway.
We were never going to get there. And thank you for listening, and Death to America.
Death to America.
Thank you, buddy. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, dude. I'm really happy we got this one done.
Yes, a year in the making. Thank you.